traded by the Cardinals for Hall of Famer Lou Brock, has died. He was 83. Broglio's daughter, Donna Cavallero, confirmed her father's death on social media. Broglio tied for the Major League lead in victories, finished third in the NL Cy Young Award voting in 1960 with the Cardinals, and was a solid pitcher for the team until being sent to the Cubs for Brock, who blossomed during the 1964 season, leading the Cardinals to the World Series. Right-handed Broglio struggled with injuries and went 7-19 over 2+ season with the Cubs. Here's the irony and interesting part of this story. Broglio played high school in California with Elijah Pumpsy Green, who was the first black player with the Boston Red Sox, baseball's last team to integrate. Green died 2 hours before Broglio. Chicago sports, Yu Darvish fired 6 innings of 2-hit scoreless ball, lead the Cubs past the Reds 5-2 in Chicago. Former Cub Jorge Soler went 2 for 4 and drove in 3 as his Royals beat the White Sox 7-5 in KC. Fire battled the Columbus Crew to a 2-2 draw at SeatGeek Stadium. 148th Open Championship is underway at Royal Portrush in Northern Ireland. Reigning champion Francesco Molinari is in the field, as is Phil Mickelson and Jordan Spieth. The news, a service of Credit Karma. Get your truly free credit scores and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma today. Download the Credit Karma app now. Credit Karma, here's to progress. 5:10, check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
That's what this radio show is. I tell you what I think, period.
The Joe Walsh Show.
And then you call in and you tell me what you think. And we don't have to fight with each other. We don't have to hurl insults at each other. We'll agree sometimes. We'll disagree sometimes. Big deal. To me, that makes for the most interesting radio. I'm going to tell you what I think, honestly. And I want you to do the same.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5, right before Larry Elder at 7 on AM 560. The Answer.
Ever wonder why Europeans seem to speak so many languages? Maybe it's because they use Babbel, the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Babbel's award-winning technology gets you speaking right away, whether you're learning Spanish, French, or German. And best of all, you'll remember what you've learned.
I always thought I was bad at languages, but after using Babbel, I can tell you I was just taught the wrong way.
Using Babbel's 10 to 15-minute lessons, you can be speaking confidently in your new language within weeks.
I was amazed that I could start having real-life conversations right away. It was so fast. Now I'm speaking Spanish. Woohoo!
No wonder Babbel is the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Try it for yourself and see why Babbel is the quick way to get conversational in a new language, like Spanish, French, or more. You can try Babbel for free. Go to Babbel.com or download the app and try it for free. That's Babbel, Babbel.com, or download the app to try it for free. That's Babbel.com.
Every commercial building has one. It's the first impression. It matters to people who visit your building. It matters to the people who work there. And it should matter to you. Get a quote. It's your parking lot. It speaks volumes about the commercial building and the business. Get a great parking lot. GreatParkingLots.com.
This is Kevin Berquist. My company is SKC Construction, home of GreatParkingLots.com. Great parking lots. The name says it all. We make your parking lot great.
GreatParkingLots.com. Decades of experience making Chicagoland parking lots great. Great Parking Lots is an industry leader in seal coating. They use a process that not only works great, but is made to last longer. It's a good parking lot investment, and you can do business with a company that shares your values. Great Parking Lots.
I guarantee you'll have a good experience. Check it out, GreatParkingLots.com.
Commercial parking lot seal coating and maintenance. Get a great parking lot. Just remember, GreatParkingLots.com.
With data and texting included in over 200 countries and destinations, T-Mobile for Business keeps you connected at the corner coffee shop or a cafe halfway around the world. Business is changing. Are you with us? Visit T-Mobile.com/business.
5:13. Check on the roads, AM 560 traffic center time, and here is Jim Telemonte.
With this incoming heat, we'll likely have some additional traffic issues. There's a possibility of pavement buckling. And Metro trains, South Shoreline trains, will likely be operating at reduced speeds due to the conditions, especially later in the day and into tomorrow. Right now, on the expressways and tollways, traffic is fairly light. You have some overnight construction that's wrapping up on the Kennedy. Outbound, the exit to Washington is closed. It should be opening shortly. There's also a right lane closure in that area. Farther out, Pulaski, Costner, 2 left lanes are blocked. Inbound Eisenhower, the exit to the outbound Kennedy is set to reopen after an overnight closure. That's traffic. I'm Jim Calamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Here's our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
An excessive heat warning this afternoon. A strong morning thunderstorm, then partly sunny, breezy, and hot. The high 93. Partly cloudy, warm, and humid tonight, low 80. Hot and humid tomorrow, sun and patchy clouds. The high tomorrow at 97. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
76 at O'Hare. Next news, 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
Experience the many restaurants of Seven Bridges on the evening of August 8th at the Golf Club in Woodridge, Illinois. Aside from great tastings and treats, Sample Seven Bridges will have prize drawings and DJ entertainment throughout the evening. Visit chambers630.com to register.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy cancel the impeachment party. Al Green, not that Al Green.
I thought the other Al Green, though.
Democrat from Texas, he demanded a House vote on moving forward with an impeachment inquiry, and he got it. And here's why he demanded it, by the way.
We cannot wait. As we wait, we risk having the blood of somebody on our hands, and it could be a member of Congress.
Okay, what? Whose blood? What member of Congress?
Lost.
What is he talking about?
332 to 95. Only 95 of 235 Democrats voting for it. So you'll have to call it off for now. Now, Al Green, and I'm sure those who voted for it, take solace, not a failure. We only got 66 last time we had a head count. So we're making progress, much progress to make yet. I suggest, Al, especially given the frenzied context in which this vote was taken.
And Pelosi says not impeachment. Let's get him with, House Judiciary Committees.
That is the serious path that we are on. Not that Mr. Green is not serious, but we'll deal with that on the floor.
Yeah,
but we'll deal with that.
He's not that he's not serious, but we both know he's not.
Right.
That pathway too. Some of those paths are being foreclosed. Authorities and the investigation into Trump Organization connection to Cohen hush money payments. So not going great. And I guess this buoyed President Trump's spirits in Greenville, North Carolina yesterday, where he gave chapter and verse on the Socialist Spice Girls. Took each of them in turn. Start with brotherly love spice.
So Representative Omar blamed the United States for the terrorist attacks on our country, saying that terrorism is a reaction to our involvement in other people's affairs. She smeared U.S. service members involved in Black Hawk Down. In other words, she slandered the brave Americans who were trying to keep peace in Somalia. Omar minimized the September 11th attacks on our homeland, saying, some people did something. I don't think so. Some people did something. Yeah, some people did something, all right.
Yeah, you get the hit parade when it comes to Omar. And just since this is all being revisited, thank you very much, Socialist Spice Girls. How about brotherly love spice? Let's not fail to have some institutional memory about what has been said by her with respect to the U.S. being responsible for the
Well, she said in a way because we shouldn't get involved in other people's problems. That's why there's terrorists.
That's right. And she also used the same line of argumentation to cast responsibility for the authoritarian regime in Venezuela and the dire humanitarian situation in Venezuela at the hands of its government. That's America's fault as well. He moved on from Omar or Brotherly Love Spice, to MFer Spice, and that was the topic.
Representative Rashida Tlaib agreed with Omar's characterization of 9/11 and said that members of Congress who support Israel forgot what country they represent. And Tlaib also used the F word to describe the presidency. And your president. That's not nice, even for me. She was describing the president of the United States and the presidency with the big, fat, vicious, the way she said it, vicious F word. That's not somebody that loves our country.
If you're not nice to the president, you can't love our country. No, but his point is well taken on Tlaib, and he didn't even mention her much more egregious rhetorical crime. Not about using the MFer with respect to the president, screeching about impeachment, but it was about rewriting or attempting to rewrite the history of the 20th century with respect to Palestinians and the state of Israel. And then, of course, he moved on to the star of the show, End of the World Spice.
Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Check out her scores, by the way, with her new Green New Deal. The Green New Deal, where did that come from? She's conducted outrageous attacks against men and women of law enforcement. She compared American border agents managing a humanitarian crisis that I always said was a humanitarian crisis, and they said it was manufactured. They don't say it was manufactured, and we're stopping it. And I want to thank Mexico. They've got 21,000 soldiers now stopping people from coming into our country.
True, and the heat's also stopping some more people from coming into this country. But so we're going from lock her up to send her back. And do you think that's a win-win for President Trump? It just didn't feel right for me. And I think that these ladies deserve it. Don't get me wrong. And I think that they truly love their home country more so than America. But I don't know if that's the right path to take.
Well, the home country for three of them is
America, right? Is it a political win? I mean, they asked Trump before, on his way to North Carolina.
Do you think you're winning this political fight?
I do think I'm winning the political fight. I think I'm winning it by a lot.
No, I'm losing it.
I think that they are not espousing the views of our country, the four congresswomen. I'm not relishing the fight. I'm enjoying it because I have to get the word out to the American people. And you have to enjoy what you do.
A disciple of Norman Vincent Peale never thinks he's losing a fight. That's not the important opinion. The important opinion of people that actually are on the other side. And this is why it was interesting, Jake Tapper tweeting out, according to one House Democrat who spoke to Jake Tapper. And I don't think he's using Jake Tapper to spread misinformation, and I don't think Jake Tapper would be party to it. The president won this one, said House Dem 1 of the Trump v. Squad showdown. Quote, what the president has done is politically brilliant. Pelosi was trying to marginalize these folks, and the president has now identified the entire party with them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the irony, and I mentioned this a couple of days ago. For all of the obsessing about the go back comment, the president doesn't want those four Socialist Spice Girls going anywhere.
Well, and he didn't start send them back. The crowd did. He, interrupted a few times saying send her back.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Nothing speaks louder about an auto dealer than a happy customer. And at Joe Cotton Ford, they have many.
I had a 2001 Excursion, was about 6 months old. We got T-boned, $29,000 worth of damage, bent the frame. After a few months, got it back from you guys, and it actually drove and rode better than when I got it from the factory. Well, service visits are always top-notch. You know, your service department, starting with Dave and going down all your service riders, are just amazing.
Another reason why folks keep coming back to Joe Cotton Ford. Joe Cotton Ford crushes the competition with a first-time ever 20% off new Fords. Yes, 20% off Fusion, 20% off EcoSport, 20% off Escape Edge and F-150. Don't miss this one. 20% off is huge. No hype and no pressure. It's why generations of customers keep coming back for a truly different vehicle buying experience. Joe Cotton Ford, Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream, or at joecottonford.com. joecottonford.com.
Hey, if you're looking to get out from under the burden of student loan debt, then you need to call Tim Hochberg. Tim took out $250,000 in student loans for his sons. Wow, which was costing over $3,000 a month. Tim called Tim Hochberg to consolidate his student loans, but missed a mortgage payment in November, and that messed up his credit. Most lenders would have kicked Tim to the curb, not Tim Hochberg. They devised a plan for Tim to reorganize his debt and enhance his credit to refinance in November. Tim was overwhelmed with the time and help Tim Hochberg provided so he could refinance at the end of the year. Now, if you're overwhelmed with student loan debt like Tim and would like to work with a lender who will help you refinance your student loans into your mortgage, then call Tim Hochberg, 855-56-DAVID, 855-56-DAVID, or visit 56david.com. Tim Hochberg helped me and thousands of AM 560 listeners, but guess what? He can't help you if you don't call. 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Homeside Financial, Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, MB 6761019, NMLS 1124061.
All right, if your roof's needy, you can
Call Crumweedy.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. If your roof is leaky, if the shingles are curling, or if your roof isn't right after storms, then you need to call Crumweedy with roofing companies, and the difference is, of course, installation. Now, Crumweedy, they know that, and that's why they follow the manufacturer's specifications, so your warranty is totally intact, and many companies don't do that, and that could void your warranty. If you hate high-pressure sales tactics, not from Crumweedy. They give you good, better, best options. You make the choice, no pressure. Crumweedy is a roof that lasts at a fair price. Now, Mark Olson and Greg Olson of Crumweedy, they lead this third-generation family business that's been doing Chicagoland roofs since 1953. Now, they fix roof problems, so if your roof is needy,
Call Crumweedy.
That's 630-595-8020. That's 630-595-8020. They're online, of course, at myroofisneedy.com.
Every woman deserves love and support during an unexpected pregnancy. No woman should feel alone, coerced, or so hopeless that she ends her child's life through abortion. For so many pregnant women that aren't sure what to do and just need someone to talk to, there's a friendly voice 24/7 at Heartbeat International's Option Line.
Anna called Option Line seeking an abortion. She had scheduled an appointment for an abortion 3 times, but each time she either walked out or failed to show up. She was engaged, but felt ashamed for getting pregnant out of wedlock and believed abortion was her only choice. The Option Line consultant talked with Anna about her options, about parenting, and about forgiveness and grace. And Anna decided that she didn't want an abortion and was ready to go to the pregnancy center for ongoing support and care.
To help continue this wonderful life-saving service, go to saveababynow.com, and your donation of $75 will sponsor 1 hour of the Option Line and connect 46 women to immediate help. That's saveababynow.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
I'm so tired of being alone. I'm so tired of
Sure, not that Al Green. Dan and Amy,
Love it.
CNN did something remarkable this week, and it shouldn't go unnoticed, and didn't go unnoticed. David Harsanyi over at the Federalist won't go unnoticed here. They had Richard Spencer on.
What?
Richard Spencer, the white supremacist. They had him on to talk about the Trump tweets. And before you hear from Richard Spencer, And he would never otherwise make this show except for CNN putting him on, using a white supremacist, white nationalist, white supremacist, to advance their attacks against Trump. As Harsanyi writes, with respect to what CNN did, the chyrons literally read, these are the kinds of white nationalist who once backed Trump calls Trump racist tweets red meat. Spencer was there to reiterate a point. CNN and other networks have decided that Trump tweets are objectively racist. They'll repeat that his tweets are racist hundreds of times a day just in case anyone disagrees. Now, they won't make the same kind of journalistic judgments about the anti-Semitism that infects a sizable faction of the progressive left and all of the socialist Spice Girls. They won't do the same for Ilhan Omar's tweets. No, of course not. There are two varieties, basically, of right-center guests that dominate the cable news shows outside of Fox. One is a centrist who is perpetually dismayed by what's happened to the modern Republican Party. And this is a great line. When it was Reagan, he pined for Eisenhower. When it was W, he pined for HW. Now that it's Trump, he pines for Reagan. That's exactly right. Go see that at thebulwark.com. The second is a cartoon avatar of what liberals imagine most Republicans are like, basically trying to find a nut or enlist a white supremacist like Richard Spencer.
Many white nationalists will eat up this red meat that Donald Trump is throwing out there. I am not one of them. I recognize the con game that is going on.
They say Trump is all talk and no action on maintaining white dominance in America.
He gives us nothing outside of racist tweets. And by racist tweets, I mean tweets that are meaningless and cheap and express the kind of sentiments you might hear from your drunk uncle while he's watching Hannity.
So he's not doing anything to advance the white nationalist movement, says white nationalist Richard Spencer. Great get, CNN. And talk about hitting bottom and digging. Enlisting somebody you know is a hate monger as you spend all of your days pretending you're opposed to hate in order to advance your hatred of the president. Unpack that.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, Frank, we can't pay you in dollars, so we put the arm on Lou Malnati's for some pizza at 5:38.
And this morning, Chance the Snapper is leaving Chicago. Maybe, Dan, he will take Frank with him. Who knows? But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
76 degrees. Tragedy unfolding in Japan this morning, where nearly 24 have been killed, many more injured in an arson attack at a critical animations studio. Kyoto Animation, known as KyoAni, makes popular television shows seen worldwide, publishes anime books. Police say the suspect poured some type of liquid fuel around the anime studio, set it on fire. Kyoto Animation has headed production for 21 anime series and several critically received films. House is tabling one Democrat lawmaker's attempt to impeach President Trump. Bipartisan group of lawmakers voted in favor of putting aside articles of impeachment introduced by Texas Congressman Al Green. President Trump, meantime, cheered the House vote on impeachment.
United States House of Representatives has overwhelmingly voted to kill the most ridiculous project I've ever been involved in. The resolution, how stupid is that, on impeachment?
Hosting a rally in North Carolina, the House voting the president warmed up the crowd, calling it ridiculous, and the House voted overwhelmingly, you may recall, to table that impeachment resolution. The Pentagon says this morning, sending more troops to the southern border. A request to deploy 2,100 troops has been approved by the military to support President Trump's immigration strengthening on the border. 1,000 troops will actually do work with those who are most critically needed, children and families who are being housed near the border, and will take over some duties from the Texas National Guard. Federal judge is scheduled to announce today whether financier Jeffrey Epstein can go free on bail before his trial on sex trafficking and conspiracy charges. Dangerous heat wave set to hit the Midwest, Chicago area, suburbs, most of the state. That warning goes into effect at noon today. 5 are hospitalized after a boat crashed on Lake Michigan. In Chicago, powerboat slammed that break wall near Queens Landing. 2 passengers were thrown into that wall. And video of a Naperville gas station clerk telling customers to go back to their country has gone viral. Footage was posted online showing a verbal dispute between the employee and several members of a Hispanic family at Buc-ee's gas station on South Washington. The incident sparked protest. Naperville police are investigating. Chicago sports, Cubs over the Reds 5-2, Royals over the White Sox 7-5. 5:35 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Larry Elder says what the left doesn't want to hear.
S&P 500, never been higher. Economy rocking and rolling. More jobs created last month than the experts expected. Donald Trump's popularity rating, highest ever of his presidency. About the same as when Obama ran for his second term. Say it ain't so.
The Larry Elder Show, weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
Got tax problems? Want to get the IRS off your ASS? Whether you're an individual or business and are having problems with the IRS, have PJN Tax Solutions Group help you solve your problems. PJN Tax Solutions Group specializes in providing affordable solutions to businesses and individuals like you who, for whatever reason, find themselves at odds with the IRS. They'll represent you in front of the IRS, allowing you to continue on with your life. You won't have to speak with an IRS agent. PJN Tax Solutions Group puts experts to work to solve your tax problems quickly and affordably. They offer a free consultation to review your case and explain your options. Would you go to court without an attorney? Then why would you represent yourself before the IRS? Call PJN Tax Solutions Group today at 630-415-5296 or visit their website at pjntaxsolutions.com. PJN Tax Solutions Group. They're the rescue squad for troubled taxpayers.
Baseball season is in full swing. It's a good thing Matt secured his denture with Super Poly Grip. Now he can enjoy the snacks as much as the game.
Poly Grip. Hey, how are you? So great to see you.
It's that time of year when the family meets up.
Hi, come on. Get together, guys. Family photo.
It's a good thing Jack cleans his denture with Polydent so he can enjoy the whole day with confidence.
Polydent.
Time's running out to win $5,000 a week for life from Publishers Clearinghouse. Enter now at PCH.com and you could win $5,000 a week after week, for life. Don't miss your chance to win because $5,000 a week for life is guaranteed to be awarded on August 30th. Enter at PCH.com before it's too late. That's PCH.com. Better hurry if you want the next big winner to be you. August 30th, you could win $5,000 a week for life. Enter now at PCH.com. Entries due 8/27. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited.
Blue Emu supports healthy muscles and joints. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink.
5:37. A check on the roads. AM 560 traffic center time. Here's Jim.
With this incoming heat, we'll likely have some additional traffic issues. There's possibility of pavement buckling. Metro trains, South Shoreline trains, will likely be operating at reduced speeds due to the conditions, especially later in the day and into tomorrow. Right now, the expressways and tollways traffic is fairly light. You have some overnight construction that's wrapping up on the Kennedy. Outbound, the exit to Washington is closed. It should be opening shortly. There's also a right lane closure in that area. Farther out, Pulaski, Costner, 2 left lanes are blocked. Inbound Eisenhower, the exit to the outbound Kennedy, set to reopen after an overnight closure. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Strong morning thunderstorms are possible. Otherwise, partly sunny, breezy, hot and very humid, high 93. Partly cloudy, warm and humid, a low of 80 overnight. Really into the upper register tomorrow, 97, and Saturday, 98. 76 right now. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs powered by Tandem HR. Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
See you later, alligator. At the wild crocodile.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Clearance sale on Frank Robb and all things Chance the Snapper. This is the last day. Everything must go, so let's get to it and get on with it. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Your favorite Frank Robb Chance the Snapper moment.
Well, yeah, you're right. We better hurry because Chance the Snapper is moving on. Guess where he's going? He's going to retire in the great state of, guess? Want to take a guess?
Well, it's about hopefully a low tax state, no tax state like Florida.
Exactly. He's going to St. Augustine, and Robb.
Oh, oldest city in America.
Yeah, he's going to be visiting him. I'm not kidding you. This is a budding friendship.
The St. Augustine Alligator Farm and Zoological Park is the top institution for crocodilians in the world. They have all the species of crocodilians there in one place. Chance will never have any worries the rest of his life. He will be worry-free, never working for a living, laid up in a retirement home, enjoying life. I'll get to see him all the time. It'll be great.
I get to see him all the time. They're good,
Frank,
Dan. They're going to be friends.
Well,
Will you be my
I
friend?
think being a gator grabber is sort of a solitary job, so I understand there's a bond that's been created. I get that.
Well, his whirlwind tour of Chicago, he said he never expected any of this, and that his people all over the world, his friends, they know about what's going on.
I have friends in South Africa sending me information about the story from South Africa. I got friends that do research in India sending me articles from India. It's been pretty crazy.
Frank, the communiques you're getting from your friends, do they start out that I'm the son of a prince who is being held captive? Could you wire some money and we'll pay you back in spades? Are you sure those are...
He arrived in Chicago. He literally thought, and he said this because I'm obsessed with this story. I don't know why. He said that I was just going to stay here, get the job done, and leave, but you keep inviting me to things.
My mind is officially blown. Yeah, it's great stuff.
So he thought after the Cub game, then he'd leave. They said, oh, no, not so fast. We'd be honored if you could turn on the fountain at Buckingham or turn on the water at the Buckingham fountain.
Mm-hmm.
So he did that. He pressed a little button, had a press conference. Then, no, now you have to do something very Chicago. Now we have to go to Illuminati's and have a deep dish pizza.
Yeah,
he ate the pizza.
That was in lieu of compensation, right?
Yeah. And
then he was conferred a guaranteed net present value 7-figure pension. He's officially a employee of the Chicago Park District and will be a ghost payroller for the next 10 years until he can retire early.
Well, the Park District is capitalizing on this. If you go to their website, they're selling placards with the alligator's picture on it. They're selling tote bags, mugs,
T-shirts.
and T-shirts
Mm-hmm.
to generate funds. Lori Lightfoot said this didn't cost the city taxpayers a lot of money to find the gator. And then after all of that, thank goodness.
Because she's got a Chicago Teachers Union contract where she's about to give away the store. So I'm glad that there's no money being conferred to Frank that would cut into that.
So then I called you last night or texted you. I don't call you. Texting, that's what we do. Because he was in the VIP gondola at Navy Pier. And he was with a reporter from Channel 7, don't know his name, but Robb Algus asked him, do you think we're all nuts? Because the way, can you play F Rob 6 for me, please? Thanks.
Do you think we're all crazy?
No.
No, apparently not. I think he's being nice.
I hope Alligator Robb is enjoying.
Not crazy.
Is enjoying all of the attention.
Not media-wise, but in crazy-wise, in Florida, it gets worse than this. I mean, the people are going into panic mode about a lot less than this guy.
All right, well, there you have it. Awesome. Gatorgate 2019. Tie a bow on it.
Yeah, all right, we got it. Yeah, we were all wondering about that.
Oh, my God. Network affiliate newscasts. These people are so stupid. It's remarkable. I mean... maybe I'm being too hard on Chicago.
You are. This is fun. It's happy news.
I understand.
We don't have a lot of happy news around here.
We're We're simple people. I get it.
You got to remember that these are just simple farmers. These are people of the land. The common clay of the New West. You know. Morons.
The best part of that Waco kid scene is Cleavon Little. He can't keep it straight. He just starts cracking up. So
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636. Type in DA and then a quick comment.
And by the way, any well wishes for Frank, because after he got done at the Ferris wheel, he just crashed at my place at Lake Point Tower.
Exactly.
So I'm just letting him stay as long as he wants.
You know, you're so hospitable. And real quick, I don't know if you ever read Block Club, the headline. The guy who caught Chance the Snapper is blown away by the Chicago love. And then in parentheses, and he's single. Okay, now we're trying to get him a girl? I mean, really?
The only person it's less surprising to hear is single than Frank Robb is me. Tony and Roselle, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Tony and Roselle. Tony.
Good morning.
Morning.
With all this news, I'm wondering what this gator did to warrant this treatment. Was he indicted for corruption?
Yeah, right. Thanks for the call, Tony. He was a former lobbyist with Burke. Robert and Niles.
Yeah, I'd like to know how much it costs the taxpayers of Chicago to pay for this guy to get this little fishing expedition out of the way.
Well, thanks for the call, Robert. I mean, this is chump change. The bigger question is, city of 3 million people and 2.7 and going down. I don't know how many same places we have. 30,000.
30,000.
And that's Park District and everything. Right. You got nobody that can fish a little gator out of a lagoon.
Well, he's been trapping alligators for 24 years, and he catches about 400 every year.
I mean, please don't leave any detail of Frank Robb's biography out.
Well, some women are smitten with him.
Oh, of
taking
course
to
they are.
social media.
Sure, great.
Heartbreaking news. He's leaving tomorrow.
Follow him.
I mean, my gosh.
Follow him.
But don't
St.
worry.
Augustine's a quick flight. Dennis in Villa Park.
Yeah, the thing is, if he was tired of all this, all he had to say is that he was a Trump supporter, and his butt would have been on the plane out of here quicker than you could spit.
There you go. Thanks for the call, Dennis.
But guess what, Dan? He's really, the creepiest moment is that the Park District head, Mike Kelly, every chance he gets, tries to get in a picture with him. And Mike Kelly invited him back to Chicago next February.
What do we do with Frank next? My first thought was we invite him back for the polar plunge.
Oh, my God. He's going to be the celebrity.
Oh, my.
Of the
Isn't this
polar
so
plunge
much
year.
fun? Do you get tired watching politicians in the city pretend that we live in Candide? Do you get tired of the Pangloss routines from politicians? I know you don't. I mean, people listen to this show are in on the joke, but I know the vast swath of Chicagoans don't. Some oleaginous, glad-handing political hack mauling Frank Robb.
Every chance he gets.
So he can, I don't know, share in his 15 minutes of fame and raise his profile and maybe someday run for MWRD or be a Cook County commissioner and layer on another pension. I mean, it's this whole thing is Frank Robb he seems like a
nice guy.
A decent fellow. This isn't about Frank Robb. This is such a commentary on the media and the political class and the electorate in this city. I mean, that's the punchline. The punchline isn't all this kitschy bull jive surrounding Chance the Snapper. The joke is this city and its denizens and its ruling class. That's the joke. It's too bad Chance the Snapper didn't take over.
Well, who's going to play Robb or Frank Robb in the made-for-TV movie?
One of the Duck Dynasty patriarch. Tony in Olympia Fields.
Yes, how you doing, Dan, Amy? Yeah, I'm sure Pritzker is trying to figure out a way to catch this alligator.
There you go. Thanks for the call.
Here's
Tony.
another entrance on social media. His plan was to catch the gator incognito. Then Chicago fell in love with him.
We also have terrible writers. The Carl Sandburgs of the world are gone. Steve and Gary.
Yeah, good morning, Dan and Amy. Frank just got elevated. He just beat out Crocodile Dundee. I'm glad we didn't have to have him. But, hey, have a good day, folks.
Thanks Thanks for the call, Steve. Right. That's not a knife. This is a knife. I can't do an Australian accent.
He's cute. I mean, when he takes his cap off, he's got a full head of hair.
Well, you can take him home with you. I'm sure
Well,
Peyton,
you
and
already-
Eli would get along.
Listen to podcast of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Want a good laugh? Watch those funny insurance ads on TV. You know, the ones the other guys spend billions of dollars on each year. Want seriously good auto, home, business, or life insurance? Come to the Kevin S. Doherty Insurance Agency, an independent Erie insurance agent serving the Chicagoland area. You'll get a great price that saves you money, unbelievable service, and advice from people you can trust. So talk to us at the Kevin S. Doherty Insurance Agency today. Call 630-575-0800. That's 630-575-0800. Or go to insurewithkevin.com. We can help you get where you need to be, where you should be, quickly and easily. Go ahead, laugh at those cave people, stunt guys, and bubbly cashiers. Then see for yourself why more than 90% of Erie customers stay with Erie year after year after year.
Sorry. By the way, Lincoln Park Zoo is going to be responsible for moving Chance the Snapper to his new home. Anyhow, and you said was Frank Robb going to have a private plane, maybe? Somebody.
Police escort. Maybe just everybody do a road trip. Wouldn't that be fun? I'll tell you what. Here's the other thing,
You
too.
have a parade.
For Lightfoot and all these other Pauls, you know, you run into some problems, some things that you have to do that you don't want the public to know about. Just throw a gator in a lagoon and captivate the city for a week, and nobody will remember a thing.
Yeah, that 9 dead, 52 shot. Hey, does your basement or crawl space smell like, well, a basement, musty, odor-ridden? And you know the natural airflow in your home originates below ground and works its way up into your living environment. You and your family are breathing that unhealthy air even when you're upstairs. That's why you should give our friends over at Permaseal a call today, 800-421-SEAL, to schedule a free inspection with one of their certified consultants. They'll conduct a thorough inspection of your basement and crawl space and provide you with proven solutions that will help prevent mold, spores, and allergens from affecting your family. For the past 40 years, over 400,000 Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana homeowners have trusted Permaseal to provide a permanent solution to their musty basement or crawl space. And that's how they've earned the A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Stop breathing that unhealthy air. Call Permaseal today, 800-421-7325, or visit permaseal.net. Be sure to ask your consultant about their PermaDry dehumidification and air filtration system. 800-421-SEAL, or go to permaseal.net. Permaseal, known best for being better.
When your rug is sick, make the click. ChicagoRugman.com.
You own fabulous rugs. You spent a lot of money on them. How do you get them clean? I'm Carl Heinrich. They call me the Chicago Rugman, and I am. My companies have been cleaning Chicagoland rugs for homes and businesses since 1903. I'm going to flat out say it. Nobody cleans rugs like we do. We have special equipment that no other rug cleaner in Chicagoland has. Go to ChicagoRugman.com and see the video of our processes. Pet odors and stains? Gone. Dirt? Gone. Your rugs will look as good as new. You can come to us, or we can come to you. Check out our ratings. Ask about our 100% guarantee. I'm the Chicago Rugman, Carl Heinrich. I personally guarantee you a great experience with your rug. ChicagoRugman.com.
ChicagoRugman.com.
Contemplating a change of school for your son or daughter? Listen up. It's not too late to consider the outstanding education and preparation for life that St. John's Northwestern Military Academy offers. For 135 years, folks, St. John's Northwestern has prepared teens for college with a safe, secure, and structured environment free from distraction and optimal for learning. You know, this is not a school for troubled kids. St. John's Northwestern attracts teens from all walks of life, kids from all over the world who are capable of achieving more but just need the guidance to do it. St. John's Northwestern inspires personal growth through a commitment to academics, spiritual and character development, athletics, and the arts, while providing a strong foundation really essential for critical thinking and decision-making skills. St. John's Northwestern is located in the beautiful county region of southeast Wisconsin and within driving distance of Chicago. So visit their beautiful 110-acre campus during their open house. Write this down. Their open house is Friday, August 9th. That's Friday, August 9th. To get more information, call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 800-SJ-CADET. Or go online to sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org. St. John's Northwestern Military Academy. Leadership lives here.
Are you a company looking to grow your manufacturing team and hire new, exceptional candidates? Turn to Monarch Technical Services, leading the Chicago staffing industry for manufacturing and engineering since 1987. Monarch will recruit top talent for your company by verifying skill sets using blueprint, shop math, part measurement, and CNC program exams. Their vetting process is the most unique in the industry due to having a former plant manager as their quality skills assessor. He knows who's who since he was involved in the day-to-day programming and operation of CNC equipment, along with managing the manufacturing process. Monarch takes pride in every candidate they represent. Their quality and customer service are the best in Chicagoland. If you're a business growing your manufacturing team and searching for exceptional candidates, contact Monarch Technical Services at 847-342-1221 or visit them online at monarchtechnical.com. And if you're interested in starting a career in manufacturing or have experience, call 847-342-1221 or visit monarchtechnical.com.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Kevin Bastuga, co-founder of Signature Bank. If you get the feeling your deposits don't matter to your bank, then maybe you're not with the right bank. At Signature Bank, your deposits matter to us as much as your business loans. Signature provides unmatched banking expertise, custom financial solutions, and the industry's best technology to closely held Chicagoland businesses. Whether your business is looking for a deposit relationship or needs a ready source for financing, Signature Bank is the right bank for you. Call us today to see how Signature Bank can help your business grow and thrive.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, and told you that Ilhan Omar facing a primary challenger. It looks like a Minneapolis City Council person, the first trans person elected to office in the country.
It's a man who's now
pretending
identifying
to be
as
a woman. Yeah.
Didn't look good as a man, doesn't look good as a woman. I'm sorry, I'm being catty, but yeah.
Well, guess what? AOC has drawn an opponent too. Now, this is a woman who's running as a Republican, and as Nancy Pelosi famously said, a glass of water with a D next to its name could get elected in AOC's district. Probably so, but it's still cool to have an opponent, and unlike Ilhan Omar's opponent, a pretty attractive one, pretty compelling one. She's a Jamaican immigrant named Cherie Murray, and here's her introductory video.
Bridges, they fill our skyline. Rising above our city, their arches are more than stone and steel. They connect us, they help us move forward and cross from place to place. That's why we build bridges, to be connected to one another. I'm Cherie Murray. I was 9 years old when I came to America with my family. We migrated from Jamaica. From my first job working as an intern at the New York City MTA Jamaica Bus Depot to attending City University, then opening a business and helping minority men and women find employment in the media, to becoming a mother and a community leader. I've been building bridges and crossing them my whole life. I've built bridges between constituents in our community and elected officials that represent them, between different nationalities and races, and between political parties. Lawmakers should be working together to build a stronger, safer, more prosperous America. But your representative in Washington chooses self-promotion over service,
Boy, does
conflict
she.
over constituents, resistance over assistance. Queens and the Bronx need someone who will create jobs instead of turning them away.
Yeah, and that's Cherie Murray. I like it. You should check out the video. Check out her website online. Support her if you can. Boy, it really puts a crimp, Cherie Murray would, in AOC's identity politics. Although, again, as Ayanna Pressley, one of her Socialist Spice Girl colleagues, has said, you're only a black or brown face if you agree with us.
Exactly.
But it's nice to
This
see.
is gonna be a good fight.
Well, it's nice to see somebody stepping up and introducing themselves and putting the wood to AOC and the rest of the Socialist Spice Girls.
Real life experience too.
Yeah, and
age with age comes wisdom most of the time, not all the time. So coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Does Chicago need a third airport? No. But are we going to start paying for one? Yes. 606.
Here, though, first is Mike Scott.
A dangerous heat wave set to hit the area. WIND Chicago News Time. It's 6 o'clock.
He's hardly backing down. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
I have a suggestion for the hate-filled extremists who are constantly trying to tear our country down. They never have anything good to say.
President Trump at a campaign rally in North Carolina.
That's why I say, hey, if they don't like it, let them leave. Let them leave. Let them leave.
He kept up the criticism of the 4 Democratic congresswomen, and we singled out Ilhan Omar. A send her back chant broke out. Now for reaction, we go live to Fox's Rachel Sutherland in Washington.
Dave, still I'll rise. Representative Ilhan Omar quoting the late poet Maya Angelou in a tweet, reacting to the president's attacks against her. She also wrote, I am where I belong, at the people's house, and you're just going to have to deal. The hashtag I stand with Ilhan is making the rounds on Twitter. 2020 presidential candidate Bernie Sanders used the hashtag, writing, Trump is stoking the most despicable and disturbing currents in our society. And that very hatred and racism fuels him. We must fight together to defeat the most dangerous president in the history of our country. Dave?
Now, Rachel, at the rally, the president also reacted to the House tabling an attempt to impeach him.
It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. So now we have that behind us.
Though 6 different House committees are still investigating him, and if he abused power, the House did vote to hold an Attorney General Barr and Commerce Secretary Ross in contempt of Congress for citing executive privilege, refusing to hand over documents Democrats demand on the now scrapped citizenship question on the census. Republicans dismiss it as political theater. A snag in the Senate attempting to unanimously approve funding medical care for 9/11 first responders. Republican Senator Rand Paul objected to the cost, prompting Democrat Kirsten Gillibrand to appeal to the Senate's GOP leader to hold a floor vote.
I call upon you now to keep the commitments that you made to these brave men and women.
This is Fox News.
Partly cloudy skies, 76 degrees at 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. A dangerous heat wave set to hit the Chicago area, the suburbs, actually most of the state and the entire Midwest. The excessive heat warning goes into effect at noon today. Steve Williams and his hot weather forecast coming up in just a moment. Illinois transportation officials are warning drivers throughout the state to watch for road blowouts and cracking during the intense heat. Pavement failures will increase into the weekend. Chicago police are investigating after 4 were shot on the west side. It happened early this morning while the group was outside in the 3400 block of West Fulton. 1 remains in critical condition. There have been no arrests. 5 hospitalized after a boat crashes on Lake Michigan. Chicago authorities say a powerboat struck a break wall last night near Queens Landing. 2 of those passengers were thrown into the wall. They are in serious to critical condition. Viral video of a Naperville gas station clerk telling customers to go back to their own country is going viral. Footage was posted Tuesday showing a verbal dispute between that employee and several members of a Hispanic family at a Buc-ee's gas station on South Washington. The incident sparked protests. Naperville police are investigating. Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle stepping on some toes, trying to take issue with Chicago's top cop. In a letter sent to Mayor Lori Lightfoot, Preckwinkle says Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson is pushing, in her words, a false narrative by blaming the county's reform bail system as the root cause of the gun violence in Chicago. Johnson has argued that too many gun offenders are out on bond. Chicago sports, Cubs over the Reds 5-2. Former Cub Jorge Soler went 2 for 4 and drove in 3 as the Royals beat the White Sox 7-5 in KC. 148th Open Championship is underway at Royal Portrush Golf Club in Northern Ireland. The news service of Credit Karma gets your truly free credit scores and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma today. Download the Credit Karma app now. Credit Karma, here's to progress. 6:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Gas prices in Illinois have gone up. Way up.
Fill her up.
Thanks to Governor Pritzker and our lawmakers in Springfield. You're probably feeling some pain at the pump. Well, AM 560 and Croggy's Mobile Service Center in Addison want to ease your pain by giving you a $50 gas card. That's right, $50 to fill up your tank at any Exxon Mobil station. To enter for your chance to win, go to 560theanswer.com/gas.
When the sand gets hot, you gotta move fast, like a dog chasing a Frisbee. Move just as fast to the Ford Hurry Up and Save sales event. Because for the first time ever, you can get 20% estimated savings on select Ford vehicles. Plus, earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. Don't let this hot deal on America's best-selling brand pass you by. Get into the Ford Hurry Up and Save sales event. Based on 2010 through 2018 calendar year sales. Modem must be activated within 60 days of purchase through the Ford Pass app on a smartphone and remain active for at least 6 months after activation. Eligible on select 2019 model year vehicles. Vehicle must have arrived at dealer at least 61 days prior to the sale date. Estimated savings include an average dealer discount based on a sales survey of average discounts offered by Ford dealers nationally. Discount may vary. Dealer determines price. For all offers, take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by 9/3/19. See participating dealer for complete details.
Free offer contingent on subscription. Pay shipping and handling. Cancel anytime. Message and data rates may apply.
When did it become okay for men to be lazier, softer, fatter? We need to bring the men of this country back to greatness. And it's easier than ever with Ageless Male Max, a patent-pending formula with an ingredient that helps boost your total testosterone, promoting greater increases in muscle size and twice the reduction of body fat percentage than exercise alone. Plus, an amazing 64% increase in nitric oxide, which can be handy in the gym. Take your manhood to the max by trying your first 30-day bottle free when you text the word RAW to 606060. Finally, a formula that boosts total testosterone. If your results with Ageless Male Max are too intense, please decrease use. For your free bottle, text RAW to 606060. Text RAW to 606060.
Get your truly free credit scores and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma today. Download the Credit Karma app now. Credit Karma. Here's to progress.
6:07 AM 560 traffic center time. Here's Jim Talamonte.
With this incoming heat, we'll likely have some additional traffic issues. There's a possibility of pavement buckling. Metro trains, South Shoreline trains, will likely be operating at reduced speeds due to the conditions, especially later in the day and into tomorrow. Right now, on the expressways and tollways, traffic is fairly light. You have some overnight construction that's wrapping up on the Kennedy. Outbound, the exit to Washington is closed. It should be opening shortly. There's also a right lane closure in that area. Farther out from Pulaski to Costner, 2 left lanes are blocked. Inbound Eisenhower, the exit to the outbound Kennedy is set to reopen after an overnight closure. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
6:08 on AM 560, and it's time for a dry basement and a healthy home. It's time to call Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. It's time to check the weather in our 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
A strong morning thunderstorm and then an excessive heat warning today. It'll be partly sunny, breezy, hot, and humid, the high 93. Partly cloudy, warm, and humid tonight, low near 80. For tomorrow, sun, patchy clouds, breezy, hot, and humid, the high tomorrow, 97. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
76 at O'Hare, 78 along the lakefront. Your next news update, 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy, and I know we're all still basking in the glory of Frank Robb and Chance the Snapper and this great fun we've had over the last week.
It's been a wonderful distraction.
Oh, sure. Well, you do need distractions living in Chicago and Illinois. I understand that. But there are things happening maybe you'd be interested to be apprised of. I know of the people in Peatone and in Will County and surrounding areas are interested because they've been fighting this for, 3 decades. Third airport in Peatone. What are you talking about? That got snuffed out long ago. Why don't I bring up the Lake Calumet Airport while I'm at it?
Oh, there you go again, Dan. Come on, opening up old wounds.
Well, the difference is that we're still spending money in pursuit of that Peatone pipe dream. Kristen McQuarrie, our friend, writes about it in the Tribune. The state has wasted nearly $100 million buying up property. Southland residents and their property investments have been haunted by the ghost of an airport for decades. Now plans are rolling for an Interstate 57 airport interchange, which Governor Jellybelly, she doesn't use that characterization or that moniker. She should, but she doesn't, which Pritzker included in the state budget. Hey, how are the roads and bridges in your neck of the woods? Well, they earmarked money for an I-57 airport interchange for an airport that's not there and never coming. I just thought you'd know. Oh, also, $162 million in state funding is the number, in addition to the $100 million that's already been frittered away. What do you think? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Robin Kelly is playing the role of Jesse Jackson Jr. in the resuscitation of this little play.
Good.
And I'm sure Sean Caston would be happy to play the role of Henry Hyde, so it wouldn't need to be bipartisan. It's those congressional leaders at the time. The last time we did this, they were, put together the whole coalition, the noise-weary suburbs in the West, Suburban O'Hare Commission in the Northwest, all coming together along with Jesse Jackson to conspire to install this boondoggle in Peatone, not for economic reasons, not for aviation reasons, not for transportation reasons, but it's for big government works reasons, to pay off inside traders and coveted constituencies. That's not why most communities, regions, states move to construct an airport, but that's what we do here, and it just never ends. It just never ends. Nothing is so temporary, or I should say, borrowing from Milton Friedman's, nothing is so permanent as temporary government. In Illinois, nothing is so permanent as some temporary big government works project. You think it's over, nobody wants to fly there. We don't have capacity at our current airports, Chicago and Midway, but so we're not going to. We have $8 billion in unpaid bills. We are terrible service providers in so many respects to Illinois families. We want to raise taxes all the time because there's always about more and more revenue that's needed. Never any problems on the spend side. $162 million for an interchange, an airport interchange, effectively, because it wouldn't be necessary otherwise. For an airport, that's not coming. We've been down this road before. I mentioned it on the show a couple of months ago, but now with the budget passed and Peatone rearing its multi-pronged head again, we'll revisit. Remember O'Hare expansion? Richie Daley's O'Hare expansion?
Yeah.
2001. It was $16 billion. But we needed it because O'Hare was bursting at the seams. We needed to build capacity so that O'Hare could accommodate Chicago's dazzling future and go from 900,000 flights to 1.6 million flights, have capacity for 1.6 million flights with the completion of the modernization. And it's the economic engine of Northeastern Illinois, and so that's a sound investment. Sounds good on paper. I agree it's an economic engine. These inner-ring suburbs wouldn't exist. Places like Elk Grove Village wouldn't exist, certainly not in their current form without O'Hare. So I'm not discounting O'Hare as an economic engine, but I am discounting the prognostications and judgment calls of the political class and the bases for them. Because what do we have now, nearly 2 decades later and $16 billion spent? Fewer flights at O'Hare than in 2001. Fewer.
Really?
Fewer flights at O'Hare after the $16 billion modernization program to accommodate
More
a
flights at O'Hare.
70% increase in traffic that never came because something happened on the way to the Gilded Airport. And that was the same politicians destroyed the entire region and the state economically through their policies. And that's what they've done in the south suburbs, as anybody who's familiar knows, in South Cook County. And so this is their bailout. This isn't about improving transportation in the region. This is a way to bail themselves out, Chicago Democrats, who've destroyed the Southland. High property taxes, high crime, and again, what are the demographics of the South Suburbs?
I don't know if they get a third airport, it'll all be better.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. McQuarrie writes, elected Democrats who oversee the region have little interest in making the South Suburbs more taxpayer and employer friendly. Right. Why would they? They haven't suffered any consequences. They move precisely the opposite direction. That's why the region has suffered. Until they grasp the reality that the policies they have enacted or refused to have undermined prosperity for Southland residents, arrived airport movement will be nothing more than another costly exercise in make-believe. That's what we love to do here, though, costly exercises in make-believe. Public sector union contracts, public works projects, the legalization of this, the decriminalization of that, the increasing taxes on this productive activity, increasing taxes on that productive activity, open-ended, guaranteed seven-figure net present value pensions. It's all make-believe financing. So why not add a third airport into this fairy tale that we tell the residents of Chicago and Illinois? And why not? They love fairy tales. Constituents here love fairy tales, and they love those who put them to bed with these stories. Mike in Richmond, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning, Dan. I just want to add to that. I didn't hear it mentioned yet. I have a friend that lives in Peatone on West Peatone Road, has a nice farmette, some horses, and has been out there for quite some time. And about 10 years ago, all the vacant land next to him was bought up by Jesse Jackson and some others from Chicago. I'm sure you can look it up. It's been well known by locals in Peatone for quite some time. The Jackson family has a lot of property holdings.
Thanks for the call, Mike. Oh, well, I mean, what's a big public works project, big government works project?
If the lawmakers can't get in on it.
Right, without the insider dealing. I mean, that's...
Look what happened at Jackson Park when we almost got the Olympics. Everybody, and rich investors, well, people that I knew, too, that were investing, bought homes for $35,000, $40,000 because they thought this is
going to be a windfall.
This is going to be a windfall. And
right.
They all lost big time.
Yeah, well, sometimes the inside trading works against you, but it's still inside trading. It's still not above board. It's still problematic because it provides the basis in which these decisions are made to get you, your family, yourselves rich. Oh, by the way, I also know golf courses down that way that were purchased by daily inner circle types.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A lot of land speculators once they knew what the footprint was going to be and they thought this was a real thing.
But for Congresswoman Kelly and other Southland officials to say that this is going to bring economic development to the south suburbs.
You don't build airports for economic development reasons, for public works reasons. You build airports to accommodate and improve your transportation infrastructure. Right. And there's a demand for such. There's airlines that want to fly out of Peatone, and there isn't. And oh, by the way, if you remember back in the day, the last go-around with this make-believe, Herb Kelleher, who was the CEO of Southwest Airlines at the time, said, you build Peatone, and we're pulling out of Midway.
Yep.
Action, reaction. But this is what they want to talk about. Grand visions, big plans, Jelly Belly, and Lori the Lightfoot. There are 21st century Daniel Burnhams on your dime. Are they? Are they really? Or is it just another scam? Oh, meanwhile, back in the city, because they're all about economic opportunity, particularly to those who have not been able to access economic opportunities, lifting people up. We're better together, I believe, is the slogan of Lori the Lightfoot. She's signed on to an ordinance that's being voted up on July 22nd next week. Chicago Fair Workweek Ordinance. We talked about this before. They did it at the county level, so why not double down, do it at the city level, too? Really layer on the punishment. Prescribes how and when employers of companies with more than 100 employees can inform their employees of their work schedule. Yeah, it has government. It has government regulating
the work schedule.
How employers manage and inform their employees of the work schedule. Yeah.
What are we in kindergarten again?
This has been kicking around for a couple of years, but hey, everybody's on board now. We're all socialists now, right? Yeah.
And yesterday, Mayor Lightfoot also released the 5 possible sites for the new casino. One, Dan, is right by Guaranteed Rate Field, Pershing and State Street.
Mm-hmm. Michael Reese Hospital.
There's
Southworks.
Michael Reese Hospital, Southworks.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the west side, at the corner of Roosevelt Road and Costner Avenue.
Fascinating.
Harborside Golf Course.
Can't wait to see who the operators are. Tom in Deer Park.
Dan, I know you know this, but you would not believe the last go-around on the previous airport endeavor. Some of the business.
Hey, Tom, I can barely hear you.
Speak into the phone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There you go.
Sorry about that. I know you know this, Dan. The last go-around for the previous airport endeavor, it's well organized. They brought in businesses that you'd say, well, what the hell do they have to do with an airport? But it's all part of the plan. They work everybody in together, and it's amazing that the airport didn't happen. But I'll say one thing, because we all know people, when you're well-to-do and well-connected, tenacity is your middle name, and good government endeavors has nothing to do with the equation. So we'll see how this one rolls.
Well, that's right. Thanks for the call, Tom. I mean, this is the updating of the famous Willie Sutton line. Why do you rob banks? Because that's where the money is. Why do you rob the taxpayers? Because that's where the money is. So that's what they do. Oh, by the way, this is the same Lori Lightfoot, by the way, was demanding a state bailout of the underfunded, drain-circling public sector pensions in Chicago. Now she's off on this gambit and that gambit. She offers a 14% raise over 5 to CTU, which was rejected, by the way, of course, never generous enough. Well, while she's offering this increase to the highest paid teachers in the country, adjusted for cost of living, while she's demanding state taxpayers bail out these functionally insolvent public sector pension funds in Chicago. Of course. Oh, and if that doesn't work, Chicago Mayor, this from Bond, I saw this on Bond Buyer, I think. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot and her finance team will make their case for the buy side to stick with the city at an annual investors conference set for Friday, September 20th. Come on in, everybody. You're looking for yield? Just don't junk rate us, and we'll continue to sell those bonds. Incur more debt. Increase the burdens on Chicago taxpayers. Not a problem. We don't have any other ideas, not on the spend side. All kinds of ideas on the revenue side. All kinds of three-card Monty schemes we're trying out. Just remarkable. Neil in LaGrange.
Hi, good morning. You're talking about wasted money. I mean, look at the amount of money that was wasted in the 80s and the 90s, with all the politicians from Bentonville trying to hold up the airport expansion. And every bit of the way, Bentonville and Chicago just kept arguing and arguing and arguing. And the last thing that they tried to do was that little bitty cemetery that was on the ground of the airport.
Yeah.
And just think of all the money and I think that was part of that was pinstripe patronage too. I mean, I don't know what law firms are used, but that wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Thanks for the call, Neil. Mike on the north side.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call. Chicago's a great city. It's unfortunately that it's being ruined by the Democrats. Mayor Lori Lightfoot loves the city so much she leaves every weekend. She's in New York right now. I guess her weekend starts on Wednesday, trying to figure out how to fight crime. Now, the funny story is there is an ice cream shop on Armitage Avenue, not too far from where she lives, and I was told by the employees there that her entourage stopped, and 8 people got out with her, and she came across to get an ice cream cone.
Well, that's good. She's reusing Rom's clown car. Good.
Well, the thing is, the entourage, not the mayor, expected everybody in the ice cream shop to get out of line so she can go to the front. And it was funny when an immigrant woman told her, "You're not no big shot. You wait like everybody else."
Yeah, great. Thanks for the call, Mike. I'm sure that woman Turner said, "Listen, little boy, you have to wait in line like everybody else."
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Wow, we've been doing a lot of roofs.
And we're ready to do yours. This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson from Crumweedy. Okay, say it. If your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy. Remember that when you need repair or when you need a new roof.
It's so important to choose your roofing company wisely.
Here's our pitch.
Installation. It's the ball game.
We follow the manufacturer's specifications, so your warranty is totally intact. Most roofing companies don't do that.
When we give you a quote, we give you good, better, and best options. You decide.
And we're not going anywhere.
We're a third-generation family business. 65 years of doing great roofs.
We run the company on good, conservative values.
For any roofing problem or need, call your roofing guys, Crumweedy.
Do we have any special offers? Sure. Just ask. We'll take care of you.
Get all the info at myroofisneedy.com.
When your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy.
630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
Hey, our good friend Mike Lindell over there at MyPillow has authorized us to make the best offer ever on radio or TV. For a limited time only, you can get a 2-pack of premium MyPillows for only $69.98. That's only $34.99 per pillow. Again, it's the lowest price ever offered in the history of MyPillow. So if you've waited, wait no more and get a hold and take part of this best offer ever. And by the way, you can still get 30% off pet beds, mattress toppers, and my favorite, those Giza cotton sheets. They come in all sizes and all colors. So act now to get this brand new, absolutely lowest price ever offered of 2 premium MyPillows for only $69.98. Go to MyPillow.com. Use promo code Amy or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. Either method, tell them Amy sent you.
If you're a healthy, self-employed small business owner with income too high to qualify for an Obamacare subsidy, I have good news. Recent regulatory changes have created new, lower-priced health insurance options that are available to you right now. These policies include a nationwide PPO with access to Chicago's teaching hospitals like University of Chicago, Northwestern, Rush, and Lurie Children's Hospital. Did you know that a self-employed husband and wife team can purchase group health insurance that covers pre-existing conditions, even if they have no employees? Are you nearing the age of 65 and trying to figure out the Medicare maze? Call me. I can help.
If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. Your own health insurance mentor. See Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com as someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating our listeners for 7 years. Steve, how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Thanks, Dan. They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551.
Hey, summer is here. The weather is hot and humid. In fact, we have a heat advisory for this weekend. And maybe you're feeling a little run down. Well, guess what? You're probably not getting enough fruits and veggies at all those summer barbecues. Hot dogs, beer, brats don't qualify. You need to do what I started doing. Me, Peyton, and Eli, we started taking Balance of Nature. Our bodies need fruits and vegetables. And when you take just 6 capsules of Balance of Nature, you're getting 10 servings of 31 fruits and veggies. It really is that easy and convenient. If you listen to this station, I know you've heard people talking about how Balance of Nature has epically changed their lives, and it can do the same for you. So start living a healthier life today by taking Balance of Nature. Experience the difference for yourself. Receive 25% off your first preferred purchase of Balance of Nature, plus get a set of convenient travel bottles that contain a free additional week supply of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You'll still receive free shipping on every order. It's a limited offer and may end anytime, so call today. 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Use discount code Chicago or go to balanceofnature.com. Discount code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk about how Trump ruined Al Green's impeachment party and also get Andy McCarthy's impressions of the Trump tweet controversy. That's at 6:36.
And the new slogan, send her back. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
77 degrees at 6:31 on AM 560, and a dangerous heat wave is set to hit the area, Chicago, suburbs, most of the state, in fact, most of the Midwest, through Saturday night. Iran, moments ago, says it is holding a foreign oil tanker. Revolutionary Guards apparently seized that tanker in the Persian Gulf. Iranian state television saying the country is holding the ship and 12 crew. It accuses them of smuggling oil. The report says the ship was taking fuel from Iranian smugglers to foreign customers when it was captured in the Straits of Hormuz. Tragedy unfolding in Japan where nearly 24 are believed to have been killed and many more injured in an arson attack on an animation studio. Kyoto Animation makes popular television shows and publishes anime books. President Trump is continuing his attacks on 4 Democrat congresswomen during a rally in North Carolina yesterday. The president called the women radical left-wing ideologues who see the U.S. as a force of evil. Meantime, the president cheered the failure of the impeachment vote at a rally in North Carolina.
United States House of Representatives has overwhelmingly voted to kill the most ridiculous project I've ever been involved in. The resolution, how stupid is that, on impeachment.
Meantime, lawmakers on Capitol Hill sounded more alarms about the explosion of illegal robocalls.
So far this year, scammers are on pace to generate more than 58 billion unwanted illegal robocalls.
Maine Republican Susan Collins. The Democrat National Committee is sending a security alert letter to all of its presidential candidates, warning them not to use FaceApp. The popular smartphone app has been trending lately. The DNC's cybersecurity chief saying in that alert on FaceApp, saying in that alert that FaceApp was developed by Russians and they have significant concerns about it. There was a 4.6 magnitude earthquake overnight, shaking residents of Coso Junction, California, just north of Ridgecrest. Illinois transportation officials say watch out while you drive over the next couple of days for road blowouts and cracking pavement during the intense heat. Chicago police are investigating after 4 were shot on the west side. It happened overnight in the 3400 block of West Fulton Boulevard. 5 are hospitalized after a boat crashed on Lake Michigan in Chicago. The powerboat slamming into a break wall last night near Queens Landing. 2 of the victims in serious to critical condition. Yu Darvish, 6 innings of 2-hit scoreless ball. Cubs over the Reds 5-2 in Chicago, while Royals beat the White Sox 7-5. Fire battled the Columbus Crew to a 2-2 draw. The News is a service of Accountemps. Accountemps don't let summer vacations slow you down or your important accounting and finance projects. Whether you need help for a day, week, or month, Accountemps provides the highly skilled temporary professionals you need right when you need them. Accountemps is a Robert Half company. 6:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager explains the people we're fighting against.
Fox News reporter was reporting on the win of the American soccer team, and then behind him were fans of the team, and they all started screaming F Trump. The low caliber of hatred of the president, of people who hate the president, it is remarkable. Is it true for every single person who hates the president? No, it isn't. Is it true for the great majority? I think it is.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
No matter how well you provide for your family today, if you don't have life insurance, their future may be at risk. Think about what would happen if you were gone. Would they struggle to pay the bills and face an uncertain future? They don't have to. You can help guarantee those you love $200,000, $500,000, $750,000 or more with life insurance through AIG Direct. We'll help you get more for your money, up to 70% more. For a free quote, call 1-800-900-1303. Just look, you could get $250,000 of term life coverage for as little as $14 a month. It's no wonder millions of people rely on AIG companies. The call is free, the quote is free, and there's no obligation. Make the future more secure for those you love. Call now so you can sleep better at night. For a free quote, call 1-800-900-1303. That's 1-800-900-1303. 1-800-900-1303.
Balance of Nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
I've been holding off on buying vitamins because I figure, you know what? All the vitamins I need are going to be in the fruits and vegetable supplements. I'm not going to bore you to tears with recanting all my health issues and what have you, but I will tell you this. There's already improvement, and it's a really amazing transition. It's really nice to get hooked up with an organization of people that understand where real health comes from. This will make a great commercial, I'm telling you. Now.
Experience the difference for yourself. Receive 25% off your first preferred purchase of Balance of Nature. Plus, get a set of convenient travel bottles containing a free additional week's supply of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You will still receive free shipping on every order. This is a limited offer and may end at any time. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Blue Emu supports healthy muscles and joints. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink.
At 6:37, for our friends in Will County this morning, National Weather Service just sent over some information to us about a pretty big thunderstorm that's developing near Shanahan, moving east at about 30 miles an hour. Winds at about 50 miles an hour right now. Hail and wind and big wind gusts headed for Joliet, Bolingbrook, Orland Park, Tinley Park. Places like Romeoville, Lockport, and New Lenox, Homer Glen areas. So keep your eyes on that this morning as the National Weather Service is. Jim Talamonte is in the AM 560 Traffic Center.
In Park Ridge, Northwest Highway remains closed between Greenwood and Oakton after a fire yesterday at a vacant gas station. North side of Chicago, Holstead, Belden, and Fullerton. There's a closure there of Holstead. And as well, buses are being rerouted around that intersection as police investigate an overnight stabbing. Antioch 173 is blocked east of 83 due to a stalled train. Kennedy, 24 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Eisenhower, 36 minutes, 390 to downtown. Stevenson, 48 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Bryan, 25 minutes, 95 to downtown. Bishop 4, 22 minutes, 80-94 to Merge. Northbound Tri-State has delays. Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Watch out for those strong morning thunderstorms developing, popping up, if you will. We just told you about one in Will County heading east. Later in the day, partly sunny, breezy, hot and humid. Careful if you're working outside. 93 for a high temp, 80 overnight, 74 officially at O'Hare. Next news at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, great coffee, period.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity this afternoon at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Earlier this week, Wall Street Journal, Somali immigrant Ayaan Hirsi Ali wrote a piece about her experience growing up in Somalia. So she's similarly situated to Ilhan Omar. The title of the piece was, Can Ilhan Omar Overcome Her Prejudice? And the resounding answer to date is no. This was Ilhan Omar with the Socialist Spice Girl colleagues, Brotherly Love Spice, here with Gayle King, on whether or not she would like to apologize for or walk back in any of the anti-Semitic comments that she's made previously.
Oftentimes there are things that you might say might not hold weight for you, but to someone else, right? The way that we hear and consume information is very different than how the next person might.
So you don't regret your words either?
I do not, but I have gotten I am grateful for the opportunity to really learn how my words made people feel, and have taken every single opportunity I've gotten to make sure that people understood that I apologize for it. And
would you like people to? Would you like to make it clear that you were not anti-Semitic?
Oh, certainly not. Yes.
Oh, would you like to make that clear?
Yes. I mean, and nothing I said, at least to me, was meant for that purpose.
That's very confusing, a little interplay there, because she doesn't regret anything. She doesn't want to take it back. She said she apologized for it, but she really didn't. And she's definitely not anti-Semitic, of course, because Gayle King just said you have to say you're anti-Semitic. That was Gayle King basically being a human teleprompter for Ilhan Omar.
Spoon feeding her.
Ilhan Omar also this week, I mean, the hits just keep on coming with these ladies. She introduced a resolution in support of the BDS movement, boycott, divest, sanctions movement against the state of Israel. In so doing, she said the following: Americans of conscience have a proud history of participating in boycotts to advocate for human rights abroad, including boycotting Nazi Germany from March 1933 to October 1941 in response to the dehumanization of the Jewish people in the lead up to the Holocaust. So the BDS movement is similar to the boycott of Nazi Germany. Would that make the state of Israel similar to the state of Germany under Hitler? I mean, is that what you're saying? Perhaps a follow-up clarification is needed there. Maybe Gayle King is available. She also compared the Hamas-backed BDS movement, Hamas, one of its chieftains, just last week, reiterating the call to kill all the Jews. That's who's backing the BDS movement in this country, so popular on college campuses and the like. She compared the Hamas-backed BDS movement to the Boston Tea Party. Ouch. And this is a young woman who, you'll recall, just this past weekend said she probably loves America more than natural-born citizens. I disagree strongly. For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by Andy McCarthy. Of course, he's a contributing editor, National Review, former federal prosecutor, chief assistant U.S. attorney in Manhattan, and somebody who loves to be lectured on race and race relations by the likes of Ilhan Omar. Andy, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. How are you guys?
Good. So now that we're sort of in day 4 of the fallout from Trump's tweeting over the weekend, leading into the back and forth, leading into a rally in North Carolina versus a sit-down with Gayle King, how does this all shake out for you?
Well, I guess I feel like this is just a crescendo kind of example of what I've been complaining about for 25 years, which is our Sharia supremacist Islamist enemies go to school on us, and they know exactly what appeals to us, and we don't bother to at all understand their ideology or their tactics. So if we had been doing what we should have been doing for the last quarter century, which is understanding how our enemies operate, then we would be chuckling at Ilhan Omar, or else they would have changed their tactics by now. We would be chuckling at the fact that she is a standard issue Islamist in the Muslim Brotherhood mold. This is exactly how they talk. This is exactly how they convey their ideas. They've been doing it for a quarter century, and yet here we are. It's 2019. I don't know how much they've done in the way of making inroads in our society. I don't know how much damage that they've done around the globe. That's hard to quantify. But here we have a standard issue Muslim Brotherhood mold operative speaking exactly the way that they do. And everybody is like, gee, what's going on here? I mean, like it couldn't be more obvious what's going on here.
What was her opinion on 9/11? Because she had mentioned something, and please help me out here, that we're partially to blame for the 9/11 attacks because we created or helped inspire terrorists.
Yeah, look here. The Muslim Brotherhood's always been a more sophisticated. I should mention because shameless self-promotion requires it. That I wrote a book about Muslim Brotherhood ideology called The Grand Jihad back in, I guess it was 2010. And it's something I've had to deal with since I was a prosecutor in terrorism cases back in, starting in 1993. But, the Brotherhood is very interesting. They unlike an outfit like Al-Qaeda, which is just like basically a flat-out terrorist outfit that looks you in the eye and basically says, we won't negotiate with you. We actually need to kill all of you because negotiating with you would legitimize you and legitimize your ideology, and it would make us like equals and all that stuff. The Brotherhood regards terrorism as one item on a very broad menu of options that they use, mindful of the fact that their ultimate goal, however you accomplish it, is to implant and spread Sharia law and Sharia ideology in the society. And when they operate in the West, they operate in a very Janus-faced, very two-faced way. They speak with forked tongue, and what they try to do is co-opt the language and and especially the legal processes of the host country, and particularly if they can get into the political system, in order to forward the agenda. So, when Ilhan Omar is talking on a national television interview, she tries to project the image of somebody who is just your normal representative in the House of Representatives, which she's unbelievably been elected to. But when she's talking to her own, people who are on her own side, she's much more audacious in what she says. And when she's speaking to Western media audiences, she engages in the kind of stuff that you just heard. That at the end of it, you can't even. She's not sorry, but she apologizes.
Right.
That's the kind of nonsense that they engage in. But they know, because they go to school on us, we don't go to school on them. They know that if she says enough of the right kind of bell-ringing phrases that, it rings our chimes. Like she's all for, equality and dignity and, all this other pablum. But in the meantime, she's a five-alarm anti-Semite who wants to destroy Israel.
Yeah.
So, and
pay no attention to that.
We're supposed to not notice that, So I look, Dan and Amy both. I for many years hit my head into a brick wall on this because I guess what frustrated me was when I got to prove this in front of a jury of 12 people, where you actually had like a normal trial procedure and a judge making rulings about evidence so that you got the information accurately to 12 average New Yorkers in a sensible, practical, legal proceeding. They all saw easily what was going on, and people were all convicted. They understood exactly the connection between the ideology and the tactics and the outcomes. But what I have been frustrated about for 20 plus years is that outside the courtroom, what has always ruled the day is political correctness and this whole idea that somehow we can't walk and chew gum. We can't understand that there is a nexus between fundamentalist Islamic scripture and ideology and terrorism, and at the same time understand that not all Muslims, not even possibly the majority of Muslims worldwide, certainly most of them don't adopt that, and a lot of them don't believe it. But we can't, for whatever reason, we can't seem to get those two things down at the same time.
I want to have you adjudicate this case, since you can't adjudicate that larger case. I think you can adjudicate this one over at National Review. Interesting exchange this week between Charles Cook and David French about this very issue in Trump's tweets. And I thought Charles Cook really stuck the landing. David, very upset about Trump's tweets, inappropriate. Charles basically agrees they're inappropriate. But when it comes to this idea of not who loves America more, but whether or not there should be a sense of a debt of gratitude to the country. French wrote, what must natural-born citizens do to earn their citizenship? Survive labor and delivery? That's it. If anything, natural-born citizens should exercise the most gratitude. What did we do to earn our liberty? Okay, yeah, right. The cosmic lottery, we should be grateful that we landed in America. But Cook goes on to say, legally, Omar has exactly the same right to someone born here as she should, without exception. Culturally, though, the idea that Omar doesn't owe a special debt of gratitude to the United States is ridiculous, as is the idea Omar's views of the United States should not be affected by that debt. Of course she should be grateful. The United States saved her from a war zone, let her stay, accepted her children, then elected her to Congress. If one can't be grateful for that, what can one be grateful for? This other conflation that happens, thanks in large part to the ignoramuses in the D.C. press corps, legal protections versus cultural expectations, and that's what Cook is getting at.
Yeah, well, I agree with Charlie about that. I also have a great deal of respect for David's personal experience, which I don't think necessarily translates to all natural-born citizens. I mean, David is a person who, in his comfortable life in his 30s, when the United States was at war, basically left his family for however long in order to go serve in our military in the war.
Absolutely.
And he went out and had a very personal sense that he not only needed to exploit his liberty, but he needed to earn it as an American. And he thinks that I wouldn't want to put words in his mouth, but I think he thinks that we should all feel that way, and I admire that about him. I essentially agree with Charlie's point, but again, I have to say that I need to, with Ilhan Omar in particular, I just have a different experience than those two guys. Charlie is an immigrant who loves America.
Right.
And, David, as I just said, had his experience. I have mine, too. I've been dealing with Islamist activists for almost 30 years, and I see her as one. So I have a hard time talking about her in the context of what should we expect from, the naturalized American citizen versus the natural-born American citizen, when I've been seeing for 30 years Islamists come into the United States not to become American citizens, not to become part of our fabric, but to exploit the legal process of being allowed to come into this country and being allowed to become a citizen in order to acquire the legal rights that are necessary to undermine the country and undermine the system. So I don't see her as the normal naturalized U.S. citizen. I see her as an Islamist activist who is trying to undermine the system, and therefore I can't translate her as an example of what we should think and what we should expect of naturalized citizens, because I think she's in a different category.
Yeah, that's fair, especially coming from someone who was a prosecutor on the first World Trade Center bombing. Understandable. He's Andy McCarthy, former Chief Assistant U.S. Attorney in Manhattan, contributing editor at National Review. His latest piece at nationalreview.com, Trump and the quote-unquote racist tweets. Andy, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
The Lou Dobbs Financial Report is brought to you by Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Visit signaturebank.bank for your commercial banking needs.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Microsoft and AT&T ink a $2 billion deal. Marathon lead paint lawsuit ends in California. Victoria's Secret Instagram likes are plummeting. Those stories next.
I'm Bobby Richards with today's 1 Minute Money Report. The New York Times recently reported on an unusual way Americans are making money. They found over 10,000 people who broke the golden rule of investing and became millionaires. The stories included people from all walks of life, including writers, professional bowlers, and blues guitarists, even a set of grandparents.
We broke the golden rule of investing and turned $16,000 into $2 million.
And here's one person who agrees with what they're doing, Warren Buffett. He says blindly following Wall Street's golden rule is just protection against ignorance. And Alexander Green, perhaps the top stock picker in America, told his 140,000 followers that if they break this rule, they can retire on just one investment. His video immediately went viral. You can view it for yourself at onestockretirement.com and decide if you should break the golden rule too. Again, that's onestockretirement.com. If your retirement isn't what you want it to be, go see what 10,000 people have already used to become millionaires.
AT&T and Microsoft have reached a $2 billion deal for cloud computing services for AT&T's 268,000 workers. A 19-year legal battle over lead paint finally settled in California. 3 former makers of lead paint settling for $305 million. That money goes toward mitigating poison dangers still in older housing. Sherwin-Williams, ConAgra, and NL Industries will pay the sum out over 6 years, and California city and county governments will remediate the lead paint still in public housing. Lingerie brand Victoria's Secret pondering a social media problem. Its likes on Instagram have plummeted by 34% over the past year. Competitors' likes are on the rise. Victoria's Secret isn't panicking, but the trend isn't one any retailer would welcome. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 o'clock and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Have you noticed cracked or sinking concrete around your home, driveways, sidewalks, garage floors, or patios? In addition to looking bad, cracked or sinking concrete causes an uneven surface that poses a safety hazard. Hi, I'm Roy Spencer, president of Permaseal. Would you like to fix the problem without replacing the concrete? We have the solution for you. Permaseal polylevel foam can be injected beneath concrete surfaces, leveling and preventing future settlement. Call Permaseal today at 800-421-SEAL for a free evaluation. The polylevel process is done with minimal disruption, quickly and at a fraction of the cost of concrete replacement. And unlike traditional mud jacking methods, polylevel foam is lightweight so it doesn't add additional weight to the area. Polylevel is the most durable and cosmetically appealing solution to your cracked or sinking concrete. Call Permaseal today at 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-SEAL or visit permaseal.net.
Known best for being better, Permaseal.
Oh, wow!
It can't be.
Oh, yes, yes, yes!
Oh, where have you been? If you snore, the first time you use mute can be quite an experience.
I can breathe! I can breathe!
Snoring can happen when your nose is blocked, forcing you to breathe through your mouth. Mute is a comfortable nasal breathing device designed to increase airflow through the nose by gently opening the airways. Thanks to Mute, you get all the air you need through your nose and not your mouth, which means less snoring and more chance of sleep.
Oh, that's the best night I've had in years.
In trials, 75% of couples reported a reduction in snoring when using Mute. Available at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and other fine stores. To find your local store or for more information, go to mutesnoring.com. Mute. Breathe more, snore less, sleep better.
Our freedom and security are made possible through the service and sacrifice of our military and first responders. The Gary Sinise Foundation provides many outreach programs supporting these brave men and women. Join us. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
He keeps on going. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
These left-wing ideologues see our nation as a force of evil.
President Trump continuing to criticize 4 Democratic congresswomen at a campaign rally in North Carolina, including Ilhan Omar.
Representative Omar blamed the United States for the terrorist attacks on our country.
And the crowd broke out into a send her back chant. And as you can imagine, there's strong reaction. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, the hashtag I Stand With Ilhan is trending on Twitter in support of Representative Omar after the president singled her out. Omar tweeted, "I am where I belong in the people's house, and you're just going to have to deal." She also quoted a poem by the late Maya Angelou, "Still I Rise." 2020 frontrunner Joe Biden tweeted at the president last night, "You'll never understand what makes us strong, and that's why the American people are going to vote you out of office next year." Dave.
Rachel, the president also brought up the vote in the House to table an attempt to impeach him.
This vote was so big, I have to thank many of the Democrats. I mean, that was an amazing. No, I really do. I respect it.
But House Speaker Pelosi says they're still investigating.
We have 6 committees that are working on following the facts in terms of any abuse of power.
In Birmingham, Alabama, police officers recovering after surgery the morning after he was shot by a suspected armed robber who died in the shootout that followed. 23 people are confirmed or presumed dead in Japan after someone ran into an animation production company, yelled "You die," and sprayed a liquid he used to set the 3-story building on fire. That man among the 36 injured. Are you among those who got that face app that lets you see how old you'd look when you're older? Well, it was developed in Russia, and Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer is calling on the FBI to start a national security investigation. His concern, the app requires users to give full and irrevocable access to photos and data. This is Vox.
Mostly cloudy skies and some thunderstorms crossing the area, 74 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer, good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Storms are a precursor to a dangerous heat wave set to hit the Chicago area, the suburbs, most of the state, the entire Midwest. Chicago police are investigating after 4 people were shot on the west side. Shooting happened early this morning when the group was outside in the 3400 block of West Fulton. 3 women are hospitalized, 1 in critical condition. There have been no arrests. 5 are hospitalized after a boat crashes on Lake Michigan. The powerboat struck a brake wall last night near Queens Landing. 2 passengers were tossed into a wall. Those 2 victims are in serious to critical condition. Mayor Lightfoot is suggesting 5 sites on Chicago's south and west sides as possible locations for a casino, Harborside Golf Center, former Michael Reese Hospital site, a spot near Guaranteed Rate Field, and the former U.S. Steel parcel. A medical sterilization plant in Willowbrook could soon reopen following an agreement with the state. This member of the group, however, Stop Sterigenics, says they'll fight to keep the company closed.
To count on them to fulfill anything they say in that consent order is foolish.
Sterigenics was ordered shut down by the governor using the Illinois EPA in February after their testing showed the facility was releasing a cancer-causing agent, a chemical, ethylene oxide, into the air. Now, the company disputed the claims and showed evidence to the contrary. Now, in order to resume operations, the company has installed new emissions capture equipment and will spend $300,000 on community environmental projects. Chicago sports, Cubs over the Reds 5-2. While the Royals beat the White Sox 7-5. Fire battled the Crew of Columbus to a 2-2 draw. The news, a service of Lowe's. Do it right and save 5% every day by shopping at Lowe's, in-store or online. Save 5% on eligible purchases just by using your Lowe's Advantage card. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Subject to credit approval. Cannot be combined with other credit offers. Exclusions apply. See store for details. U.S. only. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity sees people's selective memory.
They didn't care about the exoneration of Hillary. That's why they never made a big deal about Hillary Clinton deleting subpoenaed emails and using bleach bit and hammers to get rid of the evidence. Yeah, real obstruction of justice. They only care about obstruction if they can say it's Donald Trump, selective moral outrage.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
When the sand gets hot, you gotta move fast, like a dog chasing a Frisbee. Move just as fast to the Ford Hurry Up and Save sales event. Because for the first time ever, you can get 20% estimated savings on select Ford vehicles. Plus, earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. Don't let this hot deal on America's best-selling brand pass you by. Get into the Ford Hurry Up and Save sales event. Based on 2010 through 2018 calendar year sales. Modem must be activated within 60 days of purchase through the Ford Pass app on a smartphone and remain active for at least 6 months after activation. Eligible on select 2019 model year vehicles. Vehicle must have arrived at dealer at least 61 days prior to the sale date. Estimated savings include an average dealer discount based on a sales survey of average discounts offered by Ford dealers nationally. Discount may vary. Dealer determines price. For all offers, take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by 9/3/19. See participating dealer for complete details.
Townstone Financial is synonymous with great rates, low closing costs, and phenomenal service to the thousands who have completed purchases and refinances with us since 2002. Hi, my name is Barry Sterner, owner of Townstone Financial. Let's hear from Jim, who just completed a no-cost refinance with Townstone Financial.
We went through the experience with Townstone. The experience was amazing. We had a point person that took control of the refi. The communication was specific and exactly what we needed to do. That I was never in the dark in the process. So I knew when I needed to get documents. I knew exactly what I needed. I would recommend Townstone to anybody, and I do.
Remember, nobody values your business more than Townstone Financial, and I'm always available to answer your questions. Call me now at 312-896-2110. That's 312-896-2110, or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financial is licensed in Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida. NMLS 136639. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Equal housing lender.
Account temps. Overworked? Understaffed? Facing unexpected turnover? Account Temps provides highly skilled temporary professionals exactly when you need them most. From payroll managers and bookkeepers to senior accountants. Account Temps, a Robert Half company.
7:07 AM 560 Traffic Center time. Here's Jim Talamonte.
In Park Ridge, Northwest Highway remains closed between Greenwood and Oakton after a fire yesterday. North side of Chicago, Holsted is closed between Belden and Fullerton for police investigation after a stabbing. Tri-State Tollway, northbound traffic is heavy. 111th to 87th, 75th to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue Curve. Northbound Veterans of Oilers is jammed. 127th to International Parkway after a stall. The other tollways are okay for now. Eden's 21 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose. Kennedy, 31 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. About like an hour, 390 to downtown. Crash at Racine in the left lane. Stevenson, 47 minutes from 355. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
An excessive heat warning this afternoon. A strong morning thunderstorm, then partly sunny, breezy, and hot. The high 93. Partly cloudy, warm, and humid tonight, low 80. Hot and humid tomorrow, sun and patchy clouds. The high tomorrow at 97. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Rain showers and very gray skies across the area. Some thunder as well, 74 at O'Hare. Next news, 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Heartland Alliance has 67 of Illinois' 102 counties on the anti-poverty watch list. Poverty warning. These counties have real issues with poverty. That's up from 52 just last year. 2/3 of Illinois counties on Heartland Alliance's poverty watch list. 14 severe warning list. The Heartland Alliance suggests, it's the budget impasse. Of course, Heartland Alliance is left, so it's always about spending more money. Yeah. They wanted more investment in human services, dismantle the policies that perpetuate poverty, racial inequality, and so on and so forth. So they see the damage that the big government policies are doing, and the response is bigger of the same.
More.
Bigger of the same. Well, let's see. We're, as I mentioned before, just to do a little bit of a taking of stock, $250 billion in debt, $30 billion in assets. That's the state of Illinois' balance sheet, snapshot of it. So, highest state and local tax burden in the country. And yet, after all of the taxing and spending and borrowing, how is it that we would have policies that have not remediated some of the poverty issues? I mean, who's in control of the state? City, Democrats for 100 years. State, Democrats certainly in General Assembly, certainly on the House side for half a century. How could we have racially inequitable policies with that power structure? Real conundrum. That's where Heartland Alliance falls down. So I don't want to put stock in their solutions, but in terms of their measurements, yeah. And then you talk about solutions. Not a lot of bright spots in Illinois. It's the worst governed state in American history by the numbers.
I know you make me want to move out of here every single day.
Well,
because it's true. I'm realizing,
why
it's
is
time, but people finally look at their property taxes and then talk to their loved ones who live in different states and then get the 411 on it.
Yeah, and they also leave this state for other states that do a better job of providing those human services that the Heartland Alliance is talking about, like services for the developmentally disabled. That's why Illinois is the only state, along with West Virginia, to lose population 5 years running. That's not because Dan Proft says things are bad. It's because people are looking around at their circumstances and their options and making a choice. So that's the landscape. Not a lot of bright spots, but there is one. And ironically, it involves choice. And that's the tax credit scholarship that was passed at the end of Rauner's term, signed into law by the governor, his one accomplishment. And the tax credit scholarship provides a 5-year horizon, $500 million raise, private money to fund opportunity scholarships for children to go to private schools. Parents who can't afford to send their kid to a better school, don't want them relegated to a neighborhood school that is failing them. They have options.
And what is Governor Pritzker going to do?
Well, there was concern about it this past session of the General Assembly, but it survived and it continues on, and so that's the good news. the constituency is building because, again, showing you the market demand, just as there's been market demand for charter schools with the number of kids on the waiting list in places like Chicago. You've got, I think, last check, more than 6,000 kids on scholarship. And I think last year more than $60 million was raised. And again, every year for 5, pending reauthorization, you have the opportunity to raise $100 million to provide scholarships to kids. And it's the right approach, and it runs exactly contrary to the approach of the big government apparatchiks and the public sector union bosses who say we shouldn't try to improve anything for anybody until we can improve everything for everybody, which is just nonsense. You try and get as many kids on a lifeboat as you can, as quickly as you can, and that's what the tax credit scholarship is doing. And people need to understand the particulars of it because there should be more support for it, particularly because you can direct your support to schools of your choosing. For example, as a former Bennett Academy graduate, I could say, I'm going to donate $1,000, but I want that $1,000 to go to scholarships for kids to go to Bennett. So there's choice upon choice, and it makes it pretty attractive for people that want some tax relief and want to do some good while with their marginal philanthropic dollar and get a little bit of relief from the state in so doing. For more on this topic, on the program, the state of it, we're pleased to be joined by 2 individuals who are instrumental in its advance. Father John Belmonte is the superintendent of Catholic schools for the Joliet Diocese, and Juan Rangel is the strategy director for Empower Illinois, which is an advocacy group for the tax credit scholarships. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Dan.
Good morning. So, Juan, give me a just sort of a state of play of where the tax credit scholarship is, the TCS, where it stands now in year 2, and what people should know about it in terms of thinking about how to either access the benefits or help provide some of those benefits.
Sure, absolutely. And thank you very much for having us on your show. First of all, last year, which was the first year of the tax credit scholarship program, was an extremely successful year for the first time being a program that was out for the first time. As you mentioned, over $61 million was raised from private donations to get kids scholarships to go to schools that best fit their needs. And it was an incredible accomplishment, one of the few bright spots in state government. That was a law that was passed in a bipartisan way. Year 2 was a little bit different. We didn't expect, even though Governor Pritzker, when he was campaigning, did say that he wanted to phase out the program, we really didn't expect him to follow through on that commitment. So we spent the better part of the last half a year fighting that back and trying to build up support among both sides of the aisle, Democrats and Republicans, to ensure that kids that received a scholarship can continue to have that opportunity and more. At the end of the day, at the final days of the legislature, the governor did back off and did hopefully saw the light that this is an important program for kids and for families across the state. Over 7,000 kids received a scholarship last year, and we're hoping that more will be able to do so. Part of the challenge that we have, and partly because of the uncertainty of the future of the program, the fundraising has lagged a little bit behind where we were last year. To date, we have just Empower Illinois, although there are other scholarship organizations like ours, but Empower Illinois is the largest. We've been able to raise about $22 million to date. That's an incredible amount of money. We're very grateful for the donations, but there's more that could be done, and we have till the end of the year to be able to raise that.
Father Belmonte, tell us what the scholarship program has meant for the schools in your diocese, the Joliet Diocese.
Well, it's been very important for us. We've got over 2,000 students who applied for the program. And so when you ask the question about whether or not our parents want to see school choice, the answer is an enthusiastic yes. So we've seen 2,000 students apply. We've seen about 300 students actually get the scholarship in the last year. And then we've seen in the last 2 months over a 2,000% increase in donations compared to last year, which I think is a result of people finally understanding that that this program is here to stay. So it's been a great boon to us because we've seen dozens and dozens of new students who would have never been able to consider Catholic schools in the Diocese of Joliet who've applied. People who we didn't know before. We've certainly had also students who are presently enrolled in our schools who qualified for the program, and they've received scholarships. So it's been a great thing for our schools, great thing for our parents. We've been able to mobilize our parents to advocate on behalf of the program as well. So it's really been an opportunity for our parents to really say what they want, which is they want private and Catholic education. And this program has allowed them to access it in ways that they just simply weren't able to do before.
And hopefully, Father, the more money you raise, the more children you could help. But is there one child in particular or student in particular that you could share their story about their reaction to when they found out that they got the scholarship?
Oh yeah, I mean, there dozens of stories like that. We had an event earlier in the year last year, and one of our parents came, a mother from Addison, and spoke about how badly she wanted to send her child to our school up in Addison, and she was speaking to a group of our parents, and she was just so moved to describe her joy at being able to send her daughter to our school. And to do that in front of the parents and talk about it in such a touching way was just a great moment for us. And so there are just dozens of stories like that of parents who just don't have the financial means to send their children to a private and Catholic school, and this program makes it possible. So to hear them really see the dreams for their children realized through a program like this is just so gratifying. And so, Dan asked the question a couple of days ago to one of the guests, does this program make Illinois better? And he said, I'm asking that in a metaphysical sense. And the answer is yes, this program makes Illinois better. And there's just a thousand different ways that it does that. And it does it in, as Dan asked, in a metaphysical sense. And I think I'm qualified to speak on metaphysical matters. So
is it fair to say that the majority of the scholarship recipients are minority families, minority kids?
Yes, and I'll say one more thing. I think that it's important to note that most of these kids, and not all of the kids, are of low-income families, right. And so it's really meant to address the issue that you brought up right at the beginning of the show, in terms of poverty and the social issues and social ills in communities. And it was great to see this 2 years ago get bipartisan support. Where oddly enough, and maybe not oddly enough, Democrats seem to be a little bit slower in supporting this program, but they're coming along. And we were grateful to some of the Democrats that were supportive this session, as well as very strong support from the Republican Party.
In addition to it being about income, right? Across the racial prism, it's about income and giving people that don't have the resources the same opportunities as people that do. Pretty simple. In addition to that, though, I wanted to focus on kids that have developmental disabilities, kids that have an IEP in school. This program is available to them, and actually, because there is more resources that are required to provide an equitable education to those children, those scholarship amounts go up to accommodate that, right? I wanted to make sure that was explained.
Yes, that is absolutely part of the program, is that there is more money available for those students who have developmental disabilities. Of course, in our Catholic schools, we welcome those children into our schools, and we have some very good success stories about children with developmental disabilities coming into our schools and actually being quite successful in our schools. So again, this program makes Catholic education available to all children, especially those most in need.
So, what do you think the sort of the biggest challenge is in terms of the marketing of this and awareness? Is it just about raising profile, or is there a question or two that just keeps coming back to both of you from people interested in the program, whether on the scholarship side or the donor side?
Well, I'll say I think earlier on the biggest challenge was for donors to get a sense of certainty that this program was going to be around for the long haul. And I think we can say today with certainty that this program will, at the very minimum, fulfill the 5 years that were committed to by the legislature 2 years ago. Right now, we really would like our donors, especially those that gave last year, to come through for kids and to make the donation. Obviously, they could donate up until the end of the year, but we would like them to come through earlier because kids need to start school in September. So if you made a commitment before where you made a donation last year, we'd love for you to come through once again for the kids. If you were not aware of the program, it's a great way for your money to be able to support children in schools across the state of Illinois. And I might add, Father Belmonte has done a great job with the Catholic schools, but this program is private schools, right? Independent schools, religious schools, non-denominational schools. So it cuts across the board of schools that are recognized by the state of Illinois that are private and requires tuition that kids may not be able to afford. It helps alleviate a tremendous burden for families.
Ecumenical and expansive. And where can people get more information on both sides of the equation, Juan?
They can log on to our website, empowerillinois.org, and they can get information in terms of donations, how they can make a donation, families that are interested in applying, and they can walk you through the program. It's a 5-year program. We're finished with year 1, and we're moving on to year 2 now, but empowerillinois.org.
I support this program, and you and the listening audience should as well to the extent you can. Father John Belmonte, Superintendent of Catholic Schools for the Joliet Diocese, Juan Rangel, Strategy Director, Empower Illinois. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much, Dan and Amy. Take care. God bless.
Take care. Thanks.
Thank you. And they joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper, hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Baseball season is in full swing. It's a good thing Matt secured his denture with Super Poly Grip. Now he can enjoy the snacks as much as the game.
Poly Grip. Hey, how are you? So great to see you.
It's that time of year when the family meets up.
Hi, come on. Get together, guys. Family photo.
It's a good thing Jack cleans his denture with Polydent so he can enjoy the whole day with confidence.
Polydent.
Time's running out to win $5,000 a week for life from Publishers Clearinghouse. Enter now at PCH.com and you could win $5,000 a week after week, for life. Don't miss your chance to win because $5,000 a week for life is guaranteed to be awarded on August 30th. Enter at PCH.com before it's too late. That's PCH.com. Better hurry if you want the next big winner to be you. August 30th, you could win $5,000 a week for life. Enter now at PCH.com. Entries due 8/27. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited.
Hey, listen up. If you're looking to get out from under the burden of student loan debt, then you need to call Tim Hochberg. Tim took out $250,000 in student loans for his sons, which was costing him $3,000 a month. Well, Tim called Tim Hochberg to consolidate his student loans, but missed a mortgage payment in November, and that messed up his credit. Now, most lenders would have kicked Tim to the curb, but not Tim Hochberg. They devised a plan for Tim to reorganize his debt and enhance his credit to refinance in November. Now, Tim was overwhelmed with the time and help Team Hochberg provided so he could refinance at the end of the year. Now, if you're overwhelmed with student loan debt like Tim and would like to work with a lender who will help you refinance your student loans into your mortgage, then call Team Hochberg right now, 855-56-DAVID, or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg helped me and thousands of AM 560 listeners, but they can't help you if you don't call. 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Homeside Financial, Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, NB 6761019, NMLS 1124061.
Sheet metal is a big part of commercial and industrial facilities. Look around your business and you'll quickly notice how many components use sheet metal. From fan systems and hoods to machinery guards and much more. For top quality sheet metal work, get to know the pros at Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, owner of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial sheet metal contractor that can fabricate all types of alloys up to 1-inch plate. We perform jobs including chutes, hoppers, stacks, siding, and dust collection. We work in material handling facilities including steel, chemical, agricultural, food processing plants, and more. Vans Industrial can also design and perform the engineering for a complete turnkey installation. Our quality work is installed by trained mechanics who will work closely with you to make sure the job is done right.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level. Call 833-VANS-IND. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
Balance of nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
I don't know if you know what I'm saying, but all of a sudden it kicked in. I don't know how long it took it to kick in, but it kicked in. I feel it. I have more spring in the old step than I did before. Somebody told me, they said, boy, what is with you? You're getting too lively. I said, I just feel great, and I do, and it just hit me all of a sudden. So I am so happy with the product. It's fabulous.
Experience the difference for yourself. Receive 25% off your first preferred purchase of Balance of Nature. Plus, get a set of convenient travel bottles containing a free additional week's supply of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You will still receive free shipping on every order. This is a limited offer and may end at any time. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Representative Ilhan Omar, Brotherly Love Spice, also has some pointed comments about capitalism. We'll discuss those with Steve Moore, along with the question, is the deal with China, if there is to be one, all about Huawei? That's at 7:37.
And Offwater, say goodbye to Chance the Snapper and that hunky man, Frank Robb. But first, let's get, by the way, he's single. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Dangerous heat waves set to hit the Chicago area. Excessive heat warning will go into effect at noon today. It will last all the way through Saturday. Special marine warning has been posted up this morning as well, too. That follows all the way from Winthrop Harbor all the way down to Wilmette Harbor into the mid-lake. Strong thunderstorms right now have been issued and seen moving east at about 20 knots. Wind gusts of up to 40 knots and small hail on the Big Lake this morning. President Trump celebrating the House vote against impeachment at a fiery campaign rally in Greenville, North Carolina last night. President telling the crowd the resolution was ridiculous.
United States House of Representatives has overwhelmingly voted to kill the most ridiculous project I've ever been involved in. The resolution, how stupid is that, on impeachment?
The House voted overwhelmingly to table the resolution by Texas Democrat Al Green. The ground keeps shaking in California. Overnight, a magnitude 4.6 earthquake near Coso Junction. That's just north of the area of Ridgecrest, where big earthquakes shook in the past 2 weeks. Now celebrities are wading into the controversy surrounding the governor of Puerto Rico, whether it's in the streets of San Juan or elsewhere. Hamilton creator Lin-Manuel Miranda took part in protests yesterday.
The governor has lost her confidence, and every step he takes now should be about the peaceful transition of power and getting out of office.
Governor Ricardo Rossello has been facing growing calls to step down ever since a journalistic group published 900 messages showing Rossello and his closest advisors, including former and current public officials, making misogynistic and homophobic comments. Chicago police are investigating after 4 were shot on the west side. The shooting happened early this morning while the group was outside the 3400 block of West Fulton. There have been no arrests. 5 are hospitalized after a boat slams into a break wall last night near Queens Landing on Lake Michigan. Chicago police tell us 2 passengers were thrown into a wall. 2 victims are in serious to critical condition. A Chicago consulting firm has been chosen to lead the independent investigation into the Virginia Beach mass murder that left 12 dead. The Virginia pilot of Norfolk, reporting security risk management firm Hillard Heinz, will start that probe immediately after entering into a contract with the city. Cubs over the Reds 5-2. Royals top the White Sox 7-5. Fire battled the Columbus Crew to a 2-2 draw. 148th Open Championship is underway at Royal Portrush Golf Club in Northern Ireland. The news service of Accountemps. Don't let summer vacations slow down your important accounting and finance projects. Whether you need help for a day, week, or month, Accountemps provides highly skilled, temporary professionals with the skills you need right when you need them. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. 7:33, and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Gas prices in Illinois have gone up. Way up.
Fill her up.
Thanks to Governor Pritzker and our lawmakers in Springfield. You're probably feeling some pain at the pump. Well, AM 560 and Croggy's Mobile Service Center in Addison want to ease your pain by giving you a $50 gas card. That's right, $50 to fill up your tank at any Exxon Mobil station. To enter for your chance to win, go to 560theanswer.com/gas.
Is your old AC a clunker? Does it clunk, leak, or make weird noises? Could be it's on its way out. Luckily, the highly trained techs at your local 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning will replace your AC with new top-tier equipment. And isn't that what you want to hear? Right now, get big savings on a complete cooling system. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Hey, Craig and Leslie here from In the Know. I love to barbecue, but there's nothing worse than running out of propane in the midst of cooking. It's all about being prepared, and that's how we look at your retirement planning.
Absolutely. That's why our whole team at Wealth Management Group is fired up about helping you be ready.
Tune in each week as we discuss practical ways to be ready for your retirement.
Find us at investwithwmg.com and pick Wealth Management Group to be your +1 this summer. Listen to In the Know Sunday mornings at 10, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Got an email last night from a lady in Florida who doubted my sincerity about Relief Factor until she tried it. She tried Relief Factor. In her case, it took her almost 3 weeks, and she woke up pain-free. Relief Factor was the answer she's been looking for. This makes my 60 seconds to tell you about Relief Factor some of the happiest times of my day, because I know people are going to get the relief that they've been craving. You can get all the pain relief benefits of Relief Factor without the negative side effects of ibuprofen or prescription drugs. Physicians created Relief Factor as a crucial way to support the body's fights against aches and pains. So no matter your age, maybe you're just too sore after a great workout at the gym, or if you're like me and you're of a certain age and you want to start dealing with the aches and pains of life, give Relief Factor a try. The 3-week quick start is $19.95. Try it for 3 weeks. It's $19.95. Decide if it's for you or not. ReliefFactor.com. ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-500-8384. 800-500-8384. Relief Factor.
Blue Emu supports healthy muscles and joints. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink.
It is 7:36. Boy, dark skies, rain, thunder, hail, all crossing the Chicago area. That will have an impact on the roads. The AM 560 Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
North side of Chicago, Halsted is blocked between Belden and Fullerton for police investigation of an overnight stabbing. Park Ridge Northwest Highway is blocked between Oakton and Greenwood after yesterday's fire in the area. Eden's 21 minutes like Cook to Montrose. Kennedy looking at about 32 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Eisenhower, an hour, 390 to the Burn Circle, 40 minutes from Manheim. Stevenson, 55 minutes, 355 to the drive. Ryan, 32 minutes from 95. I-57, Bishop Ford, 26 minutes, 90 to the merge. The northbound tri-state delays are from 111th most of the way to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue Curve. It's about Adams Tollway. It's having Beverly to Bartlett and Gulf to Elmhurst Road. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, strong morning thunderstorms moving through the area, out over the lake as well. Later in the day, partly sunny, breezy, hot and humid, and a high near 93, currently 77. Next news is at 8, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy, and we've heard a lot on race and race identity politics from the Socialist Spice Girls. But Ilhan Omar has commentary on a wide range of topics, including capitalism. So I wanted to make sure we didn't leave out those remarks because, it's important to give the full complement of her views. I want to help her stay in the public eye, just like President Trump does. Ilhan Omar on capitalism.
Okay.
The capitalist system has led to a concentration of wealth in a small handful of elites while working people suffer. We must stop the exploitation of working people to create a fair and just economy. I mean, Karl Marx is applauding from down below. There's no question. This is consistent with a lot of other musings on her website about government takeovers of this and government takeovers of that. So it's just worth noting that, as AOC's COS said the other week, the Green New Deal, it's not a climate thing at all. It's really a how do you change the entire economy thing. Right. And you won't be surprised to learn that the band sings in unison on this matter. For more on the topic, we're pleased to be joined again by our friend Steve Moore, economist, Wall Street Journal columnist, author of the book Trumponomics: Inside the America First Plan to Revive Our Economy. Steve, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hi, guys. Good morning. By the way, I am right now in Las Vegas for the Freedom Fest conference, which is held every year here, and there are about 2,000 free market and libertarian people who've gathered here. And the reason I bring that up is because of what you just were talking about, Dan. We had a big discussion last night about the strangeness of this sudden popularity on the left and resurrection of socialism as a economic model. And one of the points that was made at dinner last night, because we had a number of big free market intellectuals there, was how strange it is that at this time when we have maybe the best economy in 30 years. I mean, we've got a booming employment market, the lowest unemployment rate in 50 years, the lowest inflation rate in 40 years. We've got 7.5 million more jobs than people to fill them. Wages are rising. So just about everything is going right with the U.S. economy. We're doing much better than the Europeans. The Europeans, this European socialist model that AOC and others seem to want to emulate, that is flatlined, whereas we're booming. And don't you think it's strange at this moment in time when free market capitalism seems to be really flourishing that you have this new revival of socialism?
It's been brewing, though,
well,
for a while, but it's...
I mean, if we learn nothing from history, we know that those who seek power by subjugating others never go away. They're always going to be a part of the landscape. It's the indulgence of them that, by all of the institutions of societal organization, that's the alarming thing.
Well, a couple things. I mean, first of all, one of the things we talked about last night is how did this happen? I mean, how did we get a whole generation of young people that are now buying into this, model that is by any objective standard a failure, which is, socialism. It runs on a spectrum, but the more socialist, communist you are, the worse your economy does, and the more free market you are, the better your economy does. And I think right now the conclusion we came to, and I'd love, Amy, your thoughts about this, is that we are paying a very high price for allowing the left to run our school system now for 50 years and indoctrinating kids with these ideas. And somebody said it very well yesterday. I mean, I've learned a lot at this conference. I've spoken a couple times at it. The purpose of our schools, and especially our universities, is to teach children and young adults how to think. And this one scholar said, they don't do that. They don't teach kids how to think anymore. They teach kids what to think.
Exactly. No, they do, and I'm afraid that they're going to stop teaching about the Civil War because slavery was involved. I mean, honestly, because they keep deciding what our kids should learn and what they should know about history if it fits their agenda, and they do. I mean, nobody at my son's school could wear a "Make America Great Again" or a Trump T-shirt because they would get ridiculed. One kid did once, and he was bullied so badly that he had to go change his shirt, turn it inside out.
And my point would be,
So there's no free speech.
We're responsible. We are responsible for this. You and I and Dan and the people listening to the show, we allowed this to happen. I mean, you listen to someone like AOC and the craziness that spouts from her mouth. And by the way, she's not a stupid person. I mean, she's an intelligent person, but she is just regurgitating what the schools and the professors and teachers have told her for the last 20
life.
years. And so I mean, this is why we need to have school choice. By the way, a great way to reduce income inequality and wealth inequality, I have an article, it will be in the Wall Street Journal next week about this, is allow, if the argument by the left is only rich people and very rich, the top 1% are benefiting from the stock market boom, and the stock market's up 50% since Trump has been elected, then why don't we allow every single American worker to become a capitalist and own a piece of the rock and own stocks by allowing them to take their Social Security money, and rather than put it in the black hole of the Social Security Trust Fund, and there's no trust and there's no fund, why not allow them to invest that in the stock market in a 401k type plan, and they will then share the gains every paycheck they get when American companies do better. I mean, what do you think about that idea, Dan?
Yeah, I'm a fan of getting the government out of managing my money for me. I've always been a fan of that, always will be.
By the way, do you know what the return, you're and my and Amy, and especially young people's annual return on the money you put in the Social Security system is? You know what your rate of return is?
1%.
It's 0.9% per year.
Rounding up.
Now, is there anyone out there who doesn't believe by putting your money in stocks and bonds and just an index fund over 40 years, you're going to get a better return than 1%?
I get a better return than that in a demand deposit account. Yeah, exactly. I want to ask you about, go back to one of our favorite topics to discuss, just because interesting angle here, U.S. and China and where deal stands on trade. Piece in Bloomberg News, Tyler Cohen, suggesting that while tariffs is the headliner, the real impasse between the United States and China is over Huawei and how tough a line we're going to take on Huawei, as well as the issue of Taiwanese independence from China. Do you agree with that? And do you see, and I don't know, conversations perhaps with Larry Kudlow, do you see those as the real stumbling blocks?
Well, look, I think Huawei is one of Donald Trump's strongest bargaining chips here, right? I mean, the sanctions on Huawei have really hurt that company, and it costed tens of billions of dollars. And that's sort of their Google. That's their that's their Apple, that's their Google, that's their Amazon. So it's hurt China a lot. And I think Trump is smart to use that card in these negotiations because, by the way, they do violate a lot of our, security protocols in terms of what Huawei is doing. In terms of Taiwan, look, you're not going to meet anyone who's more pro-Taiwan than I am. And by the way, Donald Trump is very pro-Taiwan. Remember what happened, what was it, 2 days after the election, he took a call from the Taiwanese president.
Right. Yes.
And that was awesome. And that's when I knew this was going to be a great president. No other president, even none the Bushes or the Clintons, would do that because they knew it would piss off China. But why shouldn't we be able to talk to our allies? And it is a real danger. I mean, I think China, certainly the way they're building up their military in the South China Sea, has their eyes on a potential military, takeover of Taiwan. So we need, an independent Taiwan, and they're one of our great allies. So we should stand in their corner in this. And if that's true, I can't confirm that that's what Trump is talking about in these negotiations, but I hope it is. I hope it is, because we stand by our friends.
What about the new NAFTA, which is called UMSCUF? What is
Yeah, U.S., Mexico, Canada trade agreement. What's the prospect on that getting House vote?
So first of all, Amy, you're very politically incorrect to call it the new NAFTA. You're Donald Trump doesn't want to call it the new NAFTA because that was the worst trade deal in the history of the world. By the way, that was obviously something I disagreed with Donald Trump about. Look, I don't see Pelosi budging 1 inch on that. I mean, it's gotten to the point where Democrats are so deranged about the Trump presidency, they will not even move things forward that are clearly in America's economic interest and the interest of the whole North American continent to deny Trump a victory. So I hate to say this, I think I'm not optimistic about the possibility of getting this or anything done because of the kind of arms race that's going on between the Republicans and Democrats and a toxic environment right now. And it's sad because if that vote, Amy, were to come to the House floor, an up or down on the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, it's not NAFTA, it's USMCA. If we were able to get that to a House vote, it would pass. There's no question about it. But I just don't think Pelosi is going to do that. And by the way, I thought one of the great things Trump did was when he told, when he said that Pelosi is not a racist. I totally disagree with her on policy, but she is not a racist. I wish Trump hadn't made these other comments because it deflected from the internal civil war that's going on in the Democratic Party.
And Nancy Pelosi returned the favor by saying Trump is a racist. So it's nice. That was a nice moment.
America white again.
Yeah, right.
Said.
Steve Moore.
There's no making nice with these people.
No, exactly. Economist, Wall Street Journal columnist, the book, Trumponomics, Inside the America First Plan to Revive Our Economy. Steve, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Have a great week, guys. Take care.
Take care.
I was going to ask him if he knew who Chance the Snapper was.
I'm glad you didn't.
And Stephen Moore joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Balance of nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
I don't know if you know what I'm saying, but all of a sudden it kicked in. I don't know how long it took it to kick in, but it kicked in. I feel it. I have more spring in the old step than I did before. Somebody told me, they said, boy, what is with you? You're getting too lively. I said, I just feel great, and I do, and it just hit me all of a sudden. So I am so happy with the product. It's fabulous.
Experience the difference for yourself. Receive 25% off your first preferred purchase of Balance of Nature. Plus, get a set of convenient travel bottles containing a free additional week's supply of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You will still receive free shipping on every order. This is a limited offer and may end at any time. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Want to take control of your income and your future? Well, I'm talking about Online Trading Academy. They are the leader in trading and investing education with courses offered throughout Chicagoland, including East Peoria, Valparaiso, and Lombard. With Online Trading Academy, you can learn about ways to generate income and protect your retirement. Don't have somebody else make money off of your money. Do it yourself. You know, I signed up to take a free class at the Lombard Academy, and I was very impressed by what I experienced. I learned a lot about the markets and how to trade, Dan. The instructor was incredibly knowledgeable, even funny. He performs at Second City, not making that up. But he did take time to explain to us their patented trading strategy. And after my experience, I really recommend that you give it a try. Sign up for the free introduction class, and I'm sure you'll walk away with a new understanding of trading the markets. Call 844-778-7132. That's 844-778-7132 to attend and get 2 free passes to their next class so you can learn from yourself from the experts. And if you sign up now, guess what? They might send you home with a professional insider's kit. It's full of exclusive investing courses and some of their best lessons from the pros. Seats go quickly, so call now, 844-778-7132. That's 844-778-7132, or visit them online at otaclass.com. That's otaclass.com. Advertisements.com.
When a company is ready to grow, it's important to have the right partner to support that growth. Choose a team backed by 100 plus years of combined experience in the staffing industry and the most trusted staffing service supplier. Choose Unistaff. Unistaff's flexible staffing solutions can help your business fill temporary, temp to perm, or direct hire employment and make the hiring process cost-effective and efficient. For temporary placement to handle specialty products requiring specific skill sets, workflow fluctuations, or to save on hire costs, Unistaff has the talent ready to take on the challenge. They can also connect you with their talented associates to provide temporary positions with the potential of full-time placement. And for direct hire, you know finding the right employee can be an unexpected, time-consuming task. Leading corporations partner with Unistaff to gain access to top candidates in a wide spectrum of industries specific to their needs. Focus on growing your business. Call Unistaff to handle the rest. Go to unistaffjobs.com. That's unistaffjobs.com.
Have you noticed cracked or sinking concrete around your home, driveways, sidewalks, garage floors, or patios? In addition to looking bad, cracked or sinking concrete causes an uneven surface that poses a safety hazard. Hi, I'm Roy Spencer, president of Permaseal. Would you like to fix the problem without replacing the concrete? We have the solution for you. Permaseal polylevel foam can be injected beneath concrete surfaces, leveling and preventing future settlement. Call Permaseal today at 800-421-SEAL for a free evaluation. The polylevel process is done with minimal disruption, quickly and at a fraction of the cost of concrete replacement. And unlike traditional mud jacking methods, polylevel foam is lightweight so it doesn't add additional weight to the area. Polylevel is the most durable and cosmetically appealing solution to your cracked or sinking concrete. Call Permaseal today at 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-SEAL or visit permaseal.net.
All right, if your roof's needy, you can call Crumweedy. Hey, Sean Hannity here. If your roof is leaky, if the shingles are curling, or if your roof isn't right after storms, then you need to call Crumweedy with roofing companies, and the difference is, of course, installation. Now, Crumweedy, they know that, and that's why they follow the manufacturer's specifications, so your warranty is totally intact, and many companies don't do that, and that could void your warranty. If you hate high-pressure sales tactics, not from Crumweedy. They give you good, better, best options. You make the choice, no pressure. Crumweedy is a roof that lasts at a fair price. Now, Mark Olson and Greg Olson of Crumweedy, they lead this third-generation family business that's been doing Chicagoland roofs since 1953. Now, they fix roof problems, so if your roof is needy, call Crumweedy. That's 630-595-8020. That's 630-595-8020. They're online, of course, at myroofisneedy.com.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jim Durkin, founding partner of the Martech Group, a global market research firm based in Chicago since 1985 and a longtime customer of Signature Bank. When our business moved to our current Loop location, I recall seeing Mick O'Rourke and his two business partners, Brian Duncan and Kevin Bastuga, laying the foundation for Signature Bank. When Signature opened its doors in 2006, I was proud to move our accounts there and become a shareholder. Being in the consulting business, the Martech Group has a keen understanding of the value of relationships, trust, and attentiveness. Whether dealing with our U.S. practice or our international operations, Signature Bank is always there when we need them. That's why the Martech Group is proud to have Signature Bank as a valued business partner.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
This is 60 Seconds of Sanity with Dan Proft. The timer starts now.
2020, a choice between two Bernies, right Bernie or left Bernie, capitalist Bernie or Bolshevik Bernie. Two Bernies have neatly defined the choice in 2020. On the one hand is Home Depot founder, the creator of 500,000 jobs, and billionaire Bernie Marcus, who's spending his golden years giving away his money to worthy causes. On the other hand is Soviet puppet show devotee, Senator Bernie Sanders, who is spending his golden years the same way he spent his formative ones, giving away other people's money. Bernie Marcus is an unabashed Trump supporter, undeterred by threats of a Home Depot boycott by Marxist mobsters. Bernie Sanders is an unrepentant redistributionist who said on Meet the Press recently his goal is, quote, to make the poor richer and the rich poorer, end quote. Bernie Marcus doesn't believe helping people is a zero-sum proposition. Bernie Sanders believes everything should be free except freedom. Which Bernie will be your bro in 2020? Well, which Bernie will be your bro in 2020? You have to answer the question. It's not rhetorical.
Well, I was working on my 60
all right.
seconds.
60
I have my own
seconds of
segment
crazy.
too, don't you?
Yeah, okay. All right, go ahead.
60 seconds. Total madness. This is 60 Seconds of Crazy.
Yeah, all right.
With Amy J.
Is your 60 Seconds of Crazy just a theme song?
But it's the best theme song.
Uh-huh.
No, mine's an addition of another reason why Dan Proft is single. I don't know if
Oh,
you've
I
heard,
see.
but a former Wisconsin dairy princess convicted of killing her ex-boyfriend's fiance is out. Her name is Lori Esker. She's now 50 years old. And
How much time did she serve?
She served about 20 plus years in prison for killing this woman, her ex-boyfriend's fiance. She killed her with a belt and a car in the Rib Mountain Motel parking lot back in 1989. It was featured on NBC, but she's out. And I was just wondering if you thought she was hot or not.
You know, Frank Robb, the gator grabber, is single. Probably more his speed.
Yeah, but you never really want to.
He's used to, dealing in dangerous circumstances,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
I'm more of a house cat, more of a uptown gentleman.
And that's another reason why Dan Proft is single.
Can you imagine dating an ex-dairy princess who's a convicted murderer?
No, I can't.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Speaking of murders from long ago, we're going to talk to Daniel Oliver, the chairman of the Education and Research Institute. Today is the 50th anniversary of Chappaquiddick.
Wow.
808.
Yeah, now let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Dangerous storms sweeping through the area this morning and heat wave to follow. 5 hurt in a boat crash on Lake Michigan. 4 wounded in a Chicago West Side shooting. And a DePaul student is in critical condition after she was found stabbed this morning near the Lincoln Park campus. Chicago sports, Cubs cruise past the Reds while the Royals beat the slumping White Sox. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
She's right where she belongs, and you're going to have to deal with it. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar tweeted that after a send her back chant at President Trump's campaign rally last night in North Carolina, days after he was condemned by the House for a tweet telling her and 3 other congresswomen to go back where they came from. And singling out Omar, he said,
You say Al-Qaeda makes you proud. Al-Qaeda makes you proud. You don't speak that way about America.
and he told them all again, they can leave.
Reaction from the left and those hoping to run against the president in 2020 was forceful. Kamala Harris tweeting, "It's vile, it's cowardly, it's xenophobic, it's racist, it defiles the office of the president."
Fox's Todd Pyro. President Trump also brought up yesterday's failed attempt to impeach him. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
Although the House voted to block an effort to impeach President Trump, the vote tally made clear that many Democrats are eager to pursue removing him from office. President Trump at that campaign rally last night in North Carolina reacted to the House impeachment effort.
A sneak attack, a real sneak attack. Many of those people that voted for us were Democrats, and I want to thank them because they did the right thing for our country.
A new article of impeachment focused on President Trump's behavior and moral fitness to be president and not on whether he had engaged in obstruction of justice. Investigations into that continue in the House. Dave?
On John at the House today, the acting head of Homeland Security, Kevin McAleenan, will be under Democrat scrutiny, questioned about overcrowded border detention facilities. Immigration officials in Iowa say a man charged with murdering a woman and her 2 kids in Des Moines came here illegally, was twice deported before. It's now up to 33 people confirmed dead in a fire at an animation production studio in Japan. Dozens more injured, including a man accused of setting the fire, running into the building, shouting, "You die," spraying a liquid to help spread the flames. This is Fox News.
Gray skies and some thunderstorms, some of them very heavy, moving through the area this morning, followed by a dangerous heat wave set to begin around noontime today. 78 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Illinois transportation officials are saying this morning and putting out a warning to drivers to watch out for road blowouts and crumbles during the intense heat over the next day and a half. The potential for pavement failures, according to the acting transportation secretary, is likely and will increase as heat index values top 100. A DePaul student is in critical condition, found stabbed early this morning near Chicago's Lincoln Park campus. The incident happened early this morning in the 2300 block of North Halsted. Chicago police investigating after 4 were found shot on the west side. It happened in the 3400 block of West Fulton. 3 women are hospitalized, 1 in critical condition. 5 are hospitalized after a boat crashed on Lake Michigan. The powerboat slammed into a break wall last night near Queens Landing. 2 are in serious to critical condition. Mayor Lightfoot suggesting 5 sites on Chicago's west and south sides for a possible location for a casino. 24th Alderman Michael Scott Jr. says he would welcome gaming venues at the proposed Roosevelt and Costner location.
Put something like a casino that would bring economic development to the west side of Chicago, which is desperately needed. It'd be something that is very intriguing given the right proposition.
A consultant is now studying the economic feasibility of each location. Chicago sports, Cubs over the Reds 5-2. Royals beat the White Sox 7-5. The News is a service of Sherwin-Williams. It's 8:03 on AM 560. Time for a dry basement and a healthy home. It's time to call Permaseal 800-421-SEAL, and time for the AM 560 Business Beat. From the Fox Business Network, here's Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, chip maker Qualcomm is being fined more than $270 million in Europe. Antitrust officials had accused the company of abusing its dominant position to drive a competitor out of business. Qualcomm is the world's largest supplier of chips that connect smartphones and tablets to cellular networks. Netflix shares are skidding after the streaming service reported fewer U.S. subscribers at the end of its spring quarter compared with the start of the year. Netflix is about to lose Friends at the end of the year to Warner Media streaming service, and The Office leaves Netflix in 2021 for the new service being launched by NBC Universal. American Eagle says it's about to offer payment plans for your purchases. The service allows you to spread out the cost of your purchase over 4 installments. Abercrombie and Urban Outfitters offer similar services. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
Business is a service of Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Visit signaturebank.bank for your commercial banking needs. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
That's what this radio show is. I tell you what I think, period.
The Joe Walsh Show.
And then you call in and you tell me what you think. And we don't have to fight with each other. We don't have to hurl insults at each other. We'll agree sometimes. We'll disagree sometimes. Big deal. To me, that makes for the most interesting radio. I'm going to tell you what I think, honestly. And I want you to do the same.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5, right before Larry Elder at 7 on AM 560. The Answer.
Summer is the perfect time to replace your old, drafty, worn-out windows with beautiful new Energy Star windows from WindowWorks. And now it's easier than ever before during Dollar Days. When you buy 2 new windows, you get the 3rd window for just $1. Buy 4, get 2 more windows for just $1. And when you buy 6 new windows, you get 3 more for just $1. And choose low monthly payments or 1-year interest-free financing. You're going to love your new windows from WindowWorks. And remember, when you buy 2 new windows, you get the 3rd window for just $1. Call the company your neighbors trust with over 100 5-star Google reviews in the month of June. Call 800-808-1313. The first 20 callers will get a free $50 dinner gift card just for getting our price. 800-808-1313. That's 800-808-1313. Or visit us at mywindowworks.com.
When the sand gets hot, you gotta move fast, like a dog chasing a Frisbee. Move just as fast to the Ford Hurry Up and Save sales event. Because for the first time ever, you can get 20% estimated savings on select Ford vehicles. Plus, earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. Don't let this hot deal on America's best-selling brand pass you by. Get into the Ford Hurry Up and Save sales event. based on 2010 through 2018 calendar year sales. Modem must be activated within 60 days of purchase through the Ford Pass app on a smartphone and remain active for at least 6 months after activation. Eligible on select 2019 model year vehicles. Vehicle must have arrived at dealer at least 61 days prior to the sale date. Estimated savings include an average dealer discount based on a sales survey of average discounts offered by Ford dealers nationally. Discount may vary. Dealer determines price. For all offers, take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by 9/3/19. See participating dealer for complete details.
It is 8:07 in the AM 560 Traffic Center. The very latest now with Jim Talamonte.
In Rosemont, 2 is closed at Manheim with downed power lines. Lakeville, there's a tree down blocking Geldon east of Deep Lake Road. And there's a closure at Park Ridge of Northwest Highway between Oakton and Greenwood after yesterday's fire. Eden's 26 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose Kennedy, 45 minutes O'Hare to downtown, quicker in the Express. Eisenhower, an hour, 390 to downtown, outbound an hour and 3 minutes. Stevenson, an hour, 13, 355 to the drive. The Ryan, 35 minutes from 95th. Northbound Tri-State delays are 111th to 31st, and from the Reagan all the way to the Grand Avenue curve. Northbound Veterans Memorial, heavy I-55, pretty much all the way up to 290. Southbound 53, Dundee to Kirchhoff. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, Steve Williams.
A strong morning thunderstorm and then an excessive heat warning today. It'll be partly sunny, breezy, hot, and humid, the high 93. Partly cloudy, warm, and humid tonight, low near 80. For tomorrow, sun, patchy clouds, breezy, hot, and humid, the high tomorrow, 97. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
73 at O'Hare. Next news, 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by AM Woodland Outdoor Design, luxury outdoor living. amwoodland.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy, and today, 50th anniversary of Chappaquiddick. My, how time flies. You were, your early 20s when that occurred, 1969?
I was in my mother's belly.
Yeah, there you go.
This was that and the landing on the moon. She said I kicked her.
Did you see the movie to update your recollection?
I loved the movie. Did you watch it?
Yeah, Jason Clarke was good as Ted Kennedy. I thought it was pretty good.
Excellent film.
And pretty damning.
Well,
for those who didn't live through it or whose recollections got a bit hazy perhaps over the years, pretty damning of not just what Ted Kennedy did, but all of the best and brightest around him.
I mean, and the fact, I didn't know that after it happened, he went to his motel room and he slept. He would sleep like nothing's wrong here.
4 houses that he could have gone to seek help, he didn't go to. And then the really chilling thing and sick thing is the indication is that there was an opportunity to save Mary Jo Kopechne, not just because it was not that much water, because she was actually, the indication, she was searching for air pockets. So if he would have gone to get help immediately, or if he would have had a little bit more stick-to-itiveness of trying to get her out of the car rather than getting out onto the shore and thinking about his political career and what to do, then perhaps she would have survived and still be alive. Well, there was a gentleman who was there. Well, sort of. I don't want to implicate him. He didn't have anything to do with it. But he shot some chilling footage of the drive just 2 days after the accident / I would say manslaughter
involuntary manslaughter
occurred. He's Daniel Oliver. You probably read his stuff. He's executive editor of the former executive editor of National Review. He's currently the chairman of the Education and Research Institute, and he joins us now. Daniel Oliver, thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
So the footage you shot that I just referenced has been featured in documentaries on the Chappaquiddick incident, and you driving 2 days after, it's really just chilling because of what happened. But what was the impetus to do that, and give us sort of your first-person account of the events of those days?
Well, it was about a week later, I think. I can't remember exactly.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
now a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it was very shortly after that. I just thought it would be. I had a new movie camera, and as a guy with a new movie camera, I thought it'd be fun to take movies with it. So I'd driven down that road before, and Kennedy's explanation seemed implausible at the time, as it seems implausible now. So I thought it would be worthwhile to make a record of it and drive. My wife drove the car, and I held the camera and took the pictures. And they are apparently the only contemporary footage of the drive. A lot of people have taken pictures of it since then, but we took these pictures, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 days after it happened. So they're essentially contemporary photographs, and they show exactly what the condition of the road was and how it would really be difficult to claim how you could make a mistake and go right instead of left if you were sober. And I think that's part of the key to understanding what happened.
Did you drive it during the day or at night like he had?
I drove it during the daytime because
Had to shoot
back
it.
in those days, my
Yeah.
camera wouldn't take pictures at night,
Yeah.
so we had to drive it there. But the point is, in order to go to the bridge, you have to leave the paved road and make a sharp turn onto a dirt road. Whereas to go to the ferry, you bear left on the paved road. So it's pretty hard to make that mistake if you have your wits about you. And as I say, I think that's part of the issue.
What was the scene like on the day that you did take that drive? Was there
Well,
still
it was-
investigations or?
Yes, it was 10, as I say, it was 7, 8, 9, 10 days later. But my wife's family had a house in Edgartown, and Edgartown was a nice, prosperous, obviously, but sleepy summer town for residents who've been going there for 1 or 2 generations. It was not a poor town, but it was a summer town that nobody went to. When the news people came, they came like locusts, and people date the change of Edgartown and the change of Martha's Vineyard from that time, because all the journalists in the world came, and some of them decided to stay, and it changed the nature of Edgartown forever.
In a piece that you wrote about this in the Federalist, Federalist.com, you suggest that sort of this was one of the original cover-ups. That as much as we suggest that Watergate is when America lost its innocence, and that's the cover-up, and we had a gate to every scandal. Actually, a few years earlier, Chappaquiddick was the original.
Yes, it really was. And one of the bumper stickers, if you remember, back when Watergate happened, was bumper sticker said, "Nobody died at Watergate." So people remembered, at that point, people still remembered Chappaquiddick. No, Chappaquiddick was obviously a cover-up. The press, not so much the press actually, but the government people in Massachusetts obviously covered it up. And some of the press did, but the Boston Globe, to its credit, did a long piece on it. I don't know, maybe it was a year later, I can't remember anymore. And they had something like 29 statements by Senator Kennedy that just didn't make any sense. So I think that back when even liberal journalists were honest, they understood that Teddy Kennedy had, I don't know, pulled the wool over their eyes, maybe not, but certainly pulled the wool over the public's eyes.
And how did he get out of it? I mean, I just refresh our memory. What did he?
Well, the inquest was a fraud. They whipped the body off the island and sent it back to his family, so there was no autopsy. So they just basically and when they had a grand jury hearing, they didn't tell the jurors they could ask questions. So they basically spoiled the process by which we normally get to the truth. And by spoiling that process, we didn't get to the truth. And so there he was, innocent, and he went on. It was a scandal, and as I say, I think it really was the first cover-up of modern times.
And were you thinking about that? I mean, thinking about Nixon coming back from his defeat in '60 to win in '68. How about Kennedy coming back from that to, perhaps almost become the president of the United States, if he could have answered a simple question why he was running, almost become the president of the United States a decade later?
Well, yes, Nixon Nixon's crime was not as great as we said. Nobody
Right,
died
of
at
course.
Watergate.
Yeah.
My sense is that Kennedy was drunk. That's why he didn't stop in at the houses to report the accident. And in fact, when he got back to Edgartown, didn't report into the police. And that will surely, as far as we understand, probably resulted in Mary Jo Kopechne's death. But it seems to me that, and Kennedy was like the Kennedy. They were basically sleazeballs, I think. But the real villains of the piece, I think, are the people of Massachusetts, because basically everybody knew what happened, or knew that whatever Kennedy said wasn't exactly what happened, and yet the people of Massachusetts sent him back to the Senate 6 times, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I think that's, in a way, the real scandal.
Yeah, I agree with that. I wanted to ask you something else, too, unrelated to Chappaquiddick, but related to your post as chairman of the Education and Research Institute. We were just talking a little bit with Steve Moore, and this is obviously a running conversation about incubators of totalitarianism. I'm talking about K through 12, or really K through college school systems. We're talking about this in the context of the 4 congresswomen that have seen their profile raised recently, and the how conservative, since you have sort of more of a view on this than certainly I do, how conservative just lost control of the quality of instruction K through college and the manuals that were being used to instruct.
I think we lost that a long time ago, and we lost it when the lefties entered the academy, entered the colleges. So first they take over the colleges, and then all their teachers, all their students, or some of their students, go on to become high school teachers and writers of high school textbooks. So first they took over the universities, and that really happened a long time ago. And then since then they've been writing textbooks. Some of the textbooks, the bad textbooks, of course, were written years and years ago. But there's been a steady stream of left-wing textbooks for decades now. So it happened a long time ago. And I'm really not quite sure how to get it back. Homeschooling is certainly one way, but not everybody can homeschool. But there are indications that people understand that. People are writing good textbooks. Bill McClay just wrote a good textbook, American history textbook, the title of which will come to me in a minute. So there are subtle changes, but by and large, the lefties own the educational establishment from top to bottom.
Well, right, and I mean, Howard Zinn's People's History of
right.
I mean, that's child's play compared to what's part of the curriculum these days at every level. And I mean, I just think about this too. When I'm thinking about your history with National Review, go back to Bill Buckley and God and Man at Yale, and
Yes.
today neither God nor man are welcome at Yale.
No, I know. And Bill really nailed it way back in 50. When did he write that? 53, I think. He in a way, he saw it coming. He said, "Look, guys, here's what's happening in the academy, and if you want something different, you better do something." And they didn't.
He is Daniel Oliver, former general counsel at the Department of Education, chairman of the FTC, as well as former executive editor at National Review, currently chairman of the Education and Research Institute. Daniel, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And he joined us on our turnkey .pro answer line.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer. This is Carl on his motorcycle.
Let's ride till we run out of gas.
And this is Carl off his motorcycle.
Balsa wood is very different than teak. People confuse the two.
On his motorcycle.
Hey, check out that view.
Off his motorcycle.
Let's do puzzles in the break room.
On.
Look at all that open road.
Off.
Look how long my fingernails are getting.
You're better on your bike. Progressive helps keep you on it. Get a quote in as little as 3 minutes at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Hey, I got to tell you, I love My Pillow, and you know why? Because I love the Go Anywhere My Pillow. You have to go to the hospital or wait for someone while they're having an operation. You can just put your head up against that Go Anywhere My Pillow and rest and relax. It's washable, it's dryable. If you have to stay in a hotel or a hospital, you can put the Go Anywhere pillow on top of the pillow that they offer, and it's like your own My Pillow. And right now, if you want a original OC My Pillow, you can get a 2-pack of premium My Pillows for only $69.98. That's only $34.99 per pillow. Justin Kosick, our technical producer, got one for his mom and one for himself for her birthday. So happy birthday to Justin's mom. And what a great gift, the gift of a great night's sleep. It is their best offer ever. And also, you can still get 30% off pet beds, mattress toppers, those Giza cotton sheets that I love. I love those. They come in different sizes, different colors. So act now to get this brand new, absolutely lowest price ever offered of 2 premium My Pillows for only $69.98. $69.98. 2 pillows. Go to mypillow.com. Use promo code Amy, AMY, or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. mypillow.com. Either method, use promo code Amy.
Is your old AC a clunker? Does it clunk, leak, or make weird noises? Could be it's on its way out. Luckily, the highly trained techs at your local 1-Hour Heating and Air Conditioning will replace your AC with new top-tier equipment. And isn't that what you want to hear? Right now, get big savings on a complete cooling system. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1-HOUR.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Oh, if they're not taking it, they're talking about it. Of course, I'm talking about balance of nature. One of our listeners, Gary from Frankfort, Illinois. Oh, Dan and I, we got your letter. And I want you to know that it lightened our day. It was very, very interesting. Balance of nature, why people...
Remarkable, really. It was almost unbelievable.
It is. But balance of nature, what it is 10 servings of 31 different fruits and veggies, because admit it, you're not getting or eating enough fruits and vegetables, especially at all those summer barbecues where they just offer hot dogs, beer, and brats. That doesn't qualify, folks. You need to take care of yourself. You need to boost your energy level. You need to get healthy and stay healthy and start living a healthier life by taking Balance of Nature. And right now you can get 25% off your first order of Balance of Nature. Plus, I love this, they'll give you a set of convenient travel bottles that contain a free additional week supply of Balance of Nature. You'll still receive that free shipping, too, on every order. Limited offer. It may end at any time, so, oh, my gosh, do it now. 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Use discount code Chicago. Or go to balanceofnature.com, discount code Chicago.
Remember when you could pick up the phone and talk to a friendly voice for technical difficulties?
Yeah, now it's a help desk on the other side of the planet that knows nothing about my business and usually isn't much help at all.
I got stuck in a help chat room the other day, and it was endless back and forth. I don't think they ever really understood or cared about my issue.
It's tough to get great technical help these days. To find people that really care and invest in your success. That's what Turnkey IT does. And you can rely on them to take care of everything IT, as if they were right by your side, but without the expense of an in-house IT department. Get to know the local team members at Turnkey IT that continue to serve businesses just like yours, from 1 to 200 employees. A friendly face with a personal touch that's close by and believes your word really means something. For only $7.95 per month, you can have local IT help and forget about dealing with computer and network problems forever.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, and money isn't everything.
And money can't buy you love.
I've heard that song. And Chick-fil-A is proving it. Chick-fil-A, of course, closed on Sundays, right?
No.
Mm-hmm. That costs them, according to one calculation, they're over at 24/7 Wall Street, $1.2 billion in revenue annually. It's a $10 billion company. That's what Chick-fil-A did in 2018. 2,400 restaurants in 47 states in the District of Columbia. 51st consecutive year of top-line growth. It grew through several recessions, including the Great Recession of a decade ago. It just keeps going.
Because it's good food. The original Chicken McNuggets, by the way.
$1.2 billion gives up 10% of its revenue to close on Sundays. It is also, interestingly, By the way, right, it's the subject of all kinds of anti-Christian bigotry.
Oh, right.
And tax.
They're ridiculed for just believing in the Lord.
Although it was
which just makes
great,
me
and being closed on Sundays. But I mean, if you remember Chick-fil-A Day when it was targeted
Oh.
by the left, and National Chick-fil-A Day, and it was overwhelming.
Lines were out the door.
Actually, National Chick-fil-A Day was probably a leading indicator of the rise of Trump. It really was, in terms of the reaction to the left. Sick of it. $1.2 billion. Chick-fil-A's approach also sits well with the employees. Glassdoor, which is a research operation, listed Chick-fil-A as one of the 100 best places to work in 2017. It's also been named one of the country's best fast food operators. I say this particularly because the whole point of Chick-fil-A being closed on Sundays, right? Kathy saying this is who we are. It's not about being closed. It's about how we use that time. And Sunday is for worship.
For worship.
Yeah.
And for being with family.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's hard as a customer because we've been, stuck. I don't know. I think we're in the Tampa Bay airport and they had Chick-fil-A there, but it was Sunday, so they were closed. And
what a hardship.
I mean, everybody walked by and went, it's right. It's Sunday. They're closed.
I hope you wrote a strongly worded letter to the Kathy family.
I respect that they made that
of course.
decision, but it didn't take away my hunger pains, Dan, okay? And the urges to have the chicken McNuggets.
It's interesting. Maybe the Kathy family's onto something about solving societal problems, the disintegration of the family structure, which is the point of the left. Not a bug, feature. We talked a little bit about the Frankfurt School yesterday. I won't get too deep into the weeds, but William Reich, who was one of the theoreticians of the Frankfurt School nearly 100 years ago, knew that a sexually permissive nation would be an increasingly fatherless nation. And fatherless children don't go to church. The church attendance for adults who grew up in a household with a father who attended church every week is 72%. Church attendance for adults who did not have a church attending father is 2 to 4%. Think about that. This is one of the underreported leading indicators of the importance of fathers and how it's paid forward. Because we know what church attendance does, or the correlation between church attendance and all kinds of other good things. And I'm not just talking about voting Republican. I'm talking about, your responsibility, intact family, self-sufficiency. Church attendance for adults who grew up with a father who attended church, 72%. For adults who did not have a church-attending father, 2 to 4%. And the one thing that's been conceded, because the left has to concede it to sort of cover their "we want the government to replace mom and dad" agenda, is that fatherless homes are non-optimal. So maybe Chick-fil-A is onto more than just serving delicious chicken sandwiches. And maybe what they're doing on Sunday, or what you could do on Sunday when you can't go to Chick-fil-A, is reflect on the model that they're presenting, not just for how to run a fast food franchise, but for how to structure a family in a free society.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Well, that's a perfect segue to this conversation. Jane Robbins, senior fellow at the American Principles Project and an attorney on deconstructing the administrative state and the cracks that she sees in the trans movement at 8:38.
And later, the Todd Ricketts racket. Feel sorry for this guy. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Gray skies, heavy thunderstorms moving through the area, and cancellations at O'Hare. About 270 flights delayed or canceled, 73 at Midway. Tragedy is unfolding in Japan, where nearly 24 have been killed and many more injured in an arson attack on an animation studio. Kyoto Animation makes popular anime television shows and anime books. Police say the suspect poured around some type of accelerant of fuel around the anime studio, then lit it on fire. President Trump is not backing away from his attacks on 4 first-term female Democrat congresswomen.
They are not espousing the views of our country. The 4 congresswomen I think that they've said horrible things that the press doesn't cover. I think you should try covering it.
During a rally in North Carolina last night, the president called out one of those women as left-wing ideologues. The crowd chanted, "Send her back," as the president spoke about Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Then Trump went on to finally recall his surprise 2016 election victory and saying to the crowd, "We have to do it again." More U.S. forces are on their way to the U.S.-Mexico border. The Pentagon announcing it will deploy about 2,100 troops in support of the president's immigration services on the border. Most of them will fill in for Texas National Guard troops who have been on the border. First-time unemployment claims are up by 8,000 today, figures from the Labor Department. A DePaul student is in critical condition here in Chicago, found stabbed near the Lincoln Park campus. Chicago police are busy investigating after 4 were shot on the west side in the 3400 block of West Fulton, and no arrests have been made in that case. 5 are hospitalized after a boat crashes on Lake Michigan. The powerboat slammed into a break wall last night near Queens Landing. 2 passengers were thrown into that break wall. They are in serious to critical condition. Chicago sports, Cubs over the Reds 5-2, Royals over the White Sox 7-5, Fire battled Columbus to a 2-2 draw, and the 148th Open Championship is underway at Royal Portrush Golf Club in Northern Ireland. The news service of Sherwin-Williams. Ask Sherwin-Williams through the 22nd and save 40% on paints and stains with sale prices starting at $23.09. Only at your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. See store for details. Some exclusions apply. 8:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher has had enough.
I am so sick of these un-American miscreants who hate this country so much that they want to strip every symbol of our nation's beginnings, its foundings, its origins. And you know what? We can push back too. We can push back with truth, with logic. I am fed up.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey guys, Ken here from Income Store. Did you know of the top 10 reasons an employee stays at a company for more than 2 years? The 7th reason is the pay or the salary. The first 6 reasons have nothing to do with money. Things like they feel part of a team, they know they belong, their voice is heard, they're respected. Also, employees go through 5 phases within a couple days to 6 months of any new position. Excitement, education, reality, doubt, then clarity. Did you know it's a manager's job to walk them to clarity as fast as possible? If you need to know these fundamental principles, did I just say that? I'm going to leave that in. If you need to know these fundamental principles, I can't say this. This is awesome. This is like a blooper roll. Hey, you know what? If you need tips and techniques like this to grow your business today, you got to check out door number 1 of Income Store. If you just need somebody to literally hold your hand and get you to the finish line, check out door number 2 of IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
If you're a healthy, self-employed small business owner with income too high to qualify for an Obamacare subsidy, I have good news. Recent regulatory changes have created new, lower-priced health insurance options that are available to you right now. These policies include a nationwide PPO with access to Chicago's teaching hospitals like University of Chicago, Northwestern, Rush, and Lurie Children's Hospital. Did you know that a self-employed husband and wife team can purchase group health insurance that covers pre-existing conditions, even if they have no employees? Are you nearing the age of 65 and trying to figure out the Medicare maze? Call me. I can help.
If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. Your own health insurance mentor. See Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com as someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating our listeners for 7 years. Steve, how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Thanks, Dan. They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551.
8:36 AM 560 traffic center time. Here is Jim Talamonte.
In Green Oaks, 176 is blocked west of St. Mary's Road with a down tree. Sunset Avenue in Waukegan is blocked east of Delaney with high water. In Des Plaines, 2 is closed between Manheim and Maple with down power lines. Edens is 29 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 52. Kennedy, an hour and 11 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, much quicker in the express. Austin, Howard, 3 minutes, 390 to downtown. 45 minutes from Manheim. Stevenson, an hour and 6 minutes, 355 to the drive to Ryan. 46 minutes from 95th. The southbound Tri-State is a mess. 132 to Deerfield Road and Lake Avenue to the Grand Avenue curve. Northbound from Bishop Ford to I-80, 111th to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to Lake. That's traffic. I'm Jim Calamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Strong morning thunderstorms have rolled through the area. Winds have clocked it up to 40 miles an hour. There has been some hail. Some big waves out on the lake. A marine warning is up as well. Once those storms leave us, partly sunny, breezy, very hot and humid in the forecast, high 93. Currently 73. Next news at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Experience the many restaurants of Seven Bridges on the evening of August 8th at the Golf Club in Woodridge, Illinois. Aside from great tastings and treats, Sample Seven Bridges will have prize drawings and DJ entertainment throughout the evening. Visit chambers630.com to register.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
That's enough. Put down the mic.
On AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Is this still raining?
Yeah, it's pouring out. So a lot of us, this is what it sounds like.
It's great. Great
Yeah.
sound effects. You're like,
Do you like it?
Yeah. Michael Winslow from Police Academy. Very impressive.
There it is.
Yeah. Wow, that's even better. All right. Hopefully that clears by noon. I got a golf game.
Do you have a tea time?
Yeah, that's right. All right, this is one of the more comprehensive pieces on the topic that I've read. Jane Robbins, writing at thepublicdiscourse.com. She's a senior fellow at the American Principles Project and an attorney. She's also the co-author of the book, Deconstructing the Administrative State, The Fight for Liberty. And she writes of the cracks in the edifice of transgender totalitarianism. It's the optimism reminds me of our discussion with Ryan T. Anderson a year or so ago when his book came out, saying that the transgender movement, it's just going to fall under its own weight. And I was a little skeptical then, and I'm even more skeptical now. So I'm looking for rays of hope, and perhaps Miss Robbins can give us those. She joins us now. Jane Robbins, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.
So I read the piece. Let's just start with the headline, The Cracks in the Edifice of Transgender Totalitarianism. This comes after another couple of professionals and academics have been sacked in the last week. University of Louisville, a psychologist noted, as well as a doctor in the UK who refused to refer to patients by their preferred pronouns. So how was this cracking under its own weight?
Well, you're absolutely right that it looks bleak. There are so many things happening out there. The totalitarianism has certainly clamped down. But as I talk about in the piece, the more these things happen and they affect more people who thought, well, I don't have to worry about this. This isn't going to affect me. We see people starting to fight back. We see lawsuits now being filed about by people who have lost their jobs or whatever because of the transgender totalitarianism. We see more and more doctors beginning to speak out, and this was something that a year ago really wasn't happening, other than a few just very intrepid doctors, some of whom were already retired or semi-retired, and so they said, there's nothing they can do to me. We see actually people on the other side of the political spectrum starting to say, wait, this is ridiculous. Even radical feminists, some of them are complaining about it. Martina Navratilova is complaining about it. Let me just sorry to interrupt, but let me just stop you there, because the Martina Navratilova is interesting.
And I wonder if you think, and so is the litigation which you referenced, and they're both sort of in the same topic area, which is athletics. And I wonder if you think that protecting girls' athletics, even more so, incredibly to me, but it seems to be the case, even more so than protecting girls in the bathroom or the locker room, girls in sports seems to be a real problem for the cult.
I think so. I think it is a big problem because Navratilova refers to these people as bullies and says that they are that this is cheating to let biological boys compete against girls. And I think people understand that at a gut level. Plus, unlike some of the other areas, when you're talking about having girls being defeated by boys in high school sports, you're talking about dollars here. These girls might lose scholarships. So that does hit people, and there's a basic sense of unfairness, I think, there. So I think that is one of the areas in which we may begin to see more backlash. I know there are girls now in Connecticut who have filed complaints about it because they're routinely being defeated by boys in track meets.
Right, and then just last week, another transgender weightlifter, a 41-year-old man named Gavin, who transitioned in his 30s, he went to events during weightlifting competitions.
Mm-hmm.
And so
yes.
I don't know how it's without litigation, I can't see how this is going to end.
Well, there's going to have to be litigation, and that is starting. Another way that there is litigation, another area of litigation that's going on, is that some psychotherapists, mental health professionals, are suing over state laws that are being implemented to ban so-called conversion therapy, meaning that psychotherapists would be forbidden to explore the psychological reasons that people think that they're the wrong sex. There are lawsuits. There's one in Florida. There's one in New York City. An Orthodox Jewish psychotherapist in New York City has sued on First Amendment grounds. And those, I think, have a real good shot at prevailing. So there are people now who are starting to fight back about it. And, of course, there's safety in numbers. No one wants to be the only doctor west of the Mississippi who is complaining about this. But when there are more and more that are starting to speak out about it, at least it gives me hope. It's going to be a long, hard slog, but I do have some hope that at some point reality will prevail.
Let's talk more globally about the point of this movement, like the point of the redefinition of marriage movement, and it just sort of flows from there. You mentioned this movement, cult, has bulldozed the ancient fundamental rights of parents, and this is where we have to get to in terms of, I think, educating people, enlightening people, because otherwise people are sort of the, hey, whatever my next door neighbor wants to do with his kid or his kid wants to do in terms of their gender identity. What's it to me? You want to use this pronoun? Whatever. What's it to me? It's sort of the not my business argument that seems persuasive, as was with the redefinition of marriage. And so you have to get to the dot connecting of where this leads and how it's going to impact those people who think it's none of my business.
That's exactly right. We were told over and over again when the Obergefell decision came down that same-sex marriage would not affect anybody else. What possible difference could it make to you if two men want to get married or two women want to get married? Well, what is happening is, and what has happened, obviously, is that once you decide that sex does not matter, and if it doesn't matter for marriage, it doesn't matter for anything, then it's a very short step to saying, well, sex is completely arbitrary. You can just choose your sex. And then it's a short step from that to saying, well, I have the right to choose my sex, and if you disagree with me, then I have the right to shut you down. And I have the right to, in the schools, teach your children to adopt my way of thinking because your way of thinking is bigoted. So it has been a very few years since Obergefell, and here we are with everyone being told that they cannot even say the wrong word because if they do, they're being bigoted, they're engaging in discriminatory behavior. So where this goes with parents, when parents start losing their rights over their children. And it has happened that some parents, it hasn't happened a lot, but it has happened that parents are being, the custody of their child is being removed from them and given to somebody who will let the child engage in the harmful behavior. That is why we have to worry about the fundamental redefinition of reality.
I just don't think that. I mean, there's a lot of girls growing up who are tomboys who didn't want to wear dresses, who wanted to play sports, wanted to hang with the boys. And I feel like the parents now and the school system is pushing them, saying, oh, maybe you really are a boy, instead of just kind of exploring.
That's exactly what's happening. And it's starting very, very young. It's starting in kindergarten with children being asked, are you really a girl or are you really a boy? Or you might want to change. Now, there is nothing more fundamental to a child's identity than what sex is. And when you start injecting doubt into that, well, I thought I was a girl, maybe I'm not. That absolutely is child abuse, and that destabilizes a child's entire identity. And that is what is happening in the schools, especially if you've got schools that are engaging in so-called comprehensive sex education. It's taking these concepts and teaching it to children as soon as they are old enough to walk through the door. And it doesn't matter what the parents say. If the parents disagree, the parents are bigots.
Right. I mean, we had a woman on who's filed a complaint in Canada against the school system for doing exactly that with her grammar school daughter and creating the doubt that you're describing. That's exactly right. But then, the flip side is, of course, you're up against all of the cultural mavens that have the biggest blowtorches. So that's up against celebrating prepubescent drag queens on Good Morning America, for goodness sakes, and drowning out anybody who would provide cognitive dissonance, even if they have actually had the experience, like Walt Heyer or Jamie Shoup, who we've had on the show, and other medical professionals that you suggested now, because they're retired or whatever, have the ability to speak out.
Well, that's right, and there are some parent groups out there that are starting to fight back on them. One of them is called Fourth Wave Now. The other is called the Kelsey Coalition, and I encourage people who may be dealing with this in their family or in their schools to go there and to their websites and take a look and see that they are not alone, that there are efforts being made to take back some of the authority. But as far as the drag queens and all of that kind of thing, yes, I mean, I have actually attended a drag queen story hour here in Atlanta, and it is just, I wonder when they're going to start having porn star story hour, because these people have an interesting perspective too. Why don't we let them come in and read to children? But the goal is the early sexualization of children. You break down every inhibition. You introduce them to concepts that they otherwise would never think of in a million years, and you get them to believe that this is all normal. This is what normal people do. It's a way of grooming children. So a lot of the people behind this movement are just misguided. A lot of them are really bad people with a bad agenda.
Yeah. I mean, it's brainwashing, because at that age, I remember I just wanted to do finger painting and go play. I didn't want to hear about sex. I didn't know what it was even. I mean, nobody needs to hear about it at that age.
Yeah,
Of course not. It's completely inappropriate.
And it's right. And so we're schizophrenic on the topic too. Everybody gets on their moral high horse when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein and his predatory behavior, and rightly so, sexualizing young girls. And then we turn around and we're sexualizing girls even younger than that, and boys even younger than that too. I mean, and allowing people who do have agendas. I mean, I'm sorry, but the evidence is overwhelming, and you have so many people just dismiss this as right-wing Christian conspiracy theory. Go back and read William Reich. William Reich, a member of the Frankfurt School, he saw sex education in schools as the best way to divest parents of their moral authority. That is the language he used, and that's exactly what they're doing.
That's exactly right. He understood that you have to break down the family, you have to break down the church or any religious values, because otherwise the state cannot take over. And when you break down the family, what you're left with is the state. you even get so-called conservative politicians who just consider themselves pragmatists who say, well, we have to step in here because the parents aren't doing their job or whatever. And so, of course, whenever the state comes in, the state is going to enforce its own values, and more those are not values that any of us are comfortable with.
She is Jane Robbins. She's a senior fellow at the American Principles Project. She's an attorney. Her book, Deconstructing the Administrative State, The Fight for Liberty, and her primer. It's a long piece, but this is really a good sort of resource on the topic. The Cracks in the Edifice of Transgender Totalitarianism at thepublicdiscourse.com, which I'll tweet out. Jane, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
If your business depends on a Sprinter or light-duty diesel, you can't afford to have just anyone care for your major investment and important equipment. From a single vehicle to an entire fleet, depend on the experts at Remke's Garage to fix your Sprinter, Duramax, Cummins, or Power Stroke vehicle. Only go to the experts at Remke's Garage. Remke's doesn't just fix problems, they find solutions. Remke's goal is making sure you never lose a dollar of business. That's why owner Joe Remke will customize a maintenance plan specific to your unique vehicle. Remke's Garage specializes in Sprinter and light-duty diesel vehicles. Their commitment to your business is backed with a complimentary maintenance plan and free 2-year warranty on all parts. They'll pick up, deliver, and offer you a loaner vehicle for free. Go to remkesgarage.com to schedule your free maintenance plan consultation. That's REMKES Garage.com. That's Remke's, spelled REMKES Garage.com.
Your kids won't be thinking about school very much this summer, but it's the perfect time for you to think about where you'll be sending your child back to school this fall. More and more parents are thinking about private school. Maybe that's you. Well, private school has never been more affordable thanks to halfpriceschools.com, where you can find tuition vouchers for private schools across Chicagoland, available at half of the normal price. No catch. It's very simple. Find a school near you, purchase the voucher, and prepare to send your child off to school this fall. Halfpriceschools.com has schools located across Chicagoland, including good schools like Westminster Christian in Elgin, Kingswood Academy in Darien, Calvin Christian in South Holland, Faith Evangelical in Antioch, Trinity Lutheran in Lombard, Covenant Christian in Aurora, Christian Liberty Academy in Arlington Heights. So don't delay. Summer won't last forever, and school will be starting again before you know it. Visit halfpriceschools.com today. Many of these vouchers have already sold out, so don't wait. Visit halfpriceschools.com today. That's halfpriceschools.com.
Balance of nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
Well, I'm searching for the perfect balance. There's hundreds of thousands of chemicals just in an apple alone, and hundreds of thousands in an orange, and all of them. If I can just remove the water without damaging all of the other chemistry, then I can pack it more dense. I never imagined that I would be able to get it down to 3 fruit capsules and 3 vegetable capsules and have the same nutrient value as eating over 10 servings of fruits and vegetables every day.
Experience the difference for yourself. Receive 25% off your first preferred purchase of Balance of Nature. Plus, get a set of convenient travel bottles containing a free additional week supply of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You will still receive free shipping on every order. This is a limited offer and may end at any time. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code Chicago.
AM 560 and MyPillow want to give you $1,000 in cash just for listening to AM 560. All you need to enter to win today's $1,000 giveaway is the daily keyword. And today's daily keyword is sleep. Don't wake her. She's sleeping. Sleep. Just go to 560theanswer.com/cash and enter that keyword sleep, and you'll be ready to possibly win $1,000 in cash, courtesy of AM 560 and our friends at MyPillow. And don't forget to visit MyPillow.com. Use promo code Amy, MyPillow.com, promo code Amy.
The following statements have not been evaluated by the FDA and were in trials tested mild to moderate symptoms. Testimonial is based on 90 days of use. Results may vary. IRI US MULO, 52 weeks by UPC.
Hi, I'm Mary Lou Retton, and I want to talk to you about something I haven't liked to talk about until now, my menopause.
All my life, I've had energy to win gold in '84. But when menopause hit me, with the hot flashes and night sweats, I began to feel sluggish every day. That all changed when I discovered Amberen.
Amberen safely relieves 12 menopause symptoms by helping to restore your hormonal balance. Amberen is 100% drug-free, estrogen-free, and clinically tested. Amberen is America's #1 menopause relief supplement.
Thanks to Amberen, my fear of hot flashes is gone. My sheets aren't soaked every night, and my energy is back. Give Amberen a try and see what it can do for you. It works. It really works.
Hurry to your Walmart, Walgreens, Target, and other fine retailers nationwide and get Amberen today.
Wow, we've been doing a lot of roofs.
And we're ready to do yours. This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson from Crumweedy. Okay, say it. If your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy. Remember that when you need repair or when you need a new roof.
It's so important to choose your roofing company wisely.
Here's our pitch.
Installation. It's the ball game.
We follow the manufacturer's specifications, so your warranty is totally intact. Most roofing companies don't do that.
When we give you a quote, we give you good, better, and best options. You decide.
And we're not going anywhere.
We're a third-generation family business. 65 years of doing great roofs.
We run the company on good, conservative values.
For any roofing problem or need, call your roofing guys, Crumweedy.
Do we have any special offers? Sure. Just ask. We'll take care of you.
Get all the info at myroofisneedy.com.
When your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy. 630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
Every company has unique shipping challenges. Whether it's managing time-sensitive 1- and 2-day deliveries, reducing truckload and LTL spend, or managing a large number of shipments at one time without enough staff to track it all. At Yellowstone Logistics, they manage customer shipments so you can focus on your own business. As part of the $2 billion a year Global Trans Network, Yellowstone offers their customers access to over 30,000 18-wheelers, 50 LTL network carriers, and access to hundreds of Sprinter van and box trucks that can manage your time-sensitive shipments 7 days a week. Yellowstone Logistics specializes in managing their customers' time-sensitive 1- and 2-day deliveries and provides reporting on delivery progress as frequently as needed to manage your or your customers' reporting expectations. Visit them today at YellowstoneLogistics.com and see how they can help you manage your logistics needs. YellowstoneLogistics.com. Call 847-213-9329.
AM 560, The Answer.
I want to apologize to Chicago residents. I've been a little tough on them with that gator story, and Gene Wilder set me straight.
You've got to remember that these are just simple farmers. These are people of the land. The common clay of the New West. You know. Morons.
Yeah, I had forgotten. That's my bad.
Thanks so much for making us part of your morning. We're back here bright and early tomorrow at 5 a.m. Now here is Mike Scott.
My grandfathers will haunt you from the grave, my friend. Dangerous heat waves set to hit the area and dangerous thunderstorms as well. Details on that coming up. WIND Chicago News Time 9.
Vile, cowardly, racist. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what Kamala Harris called President Trump's rally last night.